Hello. Starting off Higurashi. I should say finishing it. Whoops, sorry. Just a moment. Hopefully that doesn't mess it up. I may have been playing a different game and it's still open because it doesn't save in the middle of the missions. Alright. Start off with some water. Ooh, it's pouring outside. Beautiful. So, we ended last chapter with basically everyone agreeing, let's help Satsuko, even the Sonozaki family. So, they called, and they still refused. Oh, just weird messages. Alright. Alright, let's get started. Yes. I got a call from the local government section. The Child Consultation Center has no intention of listening to us. They're still trying to do what they can, but we don't have much time. I even told them that we have no time to spare. The mayor came to the school before noon to explain to us what went down with the officials. We had all gathered in the teacher's office to meet with him. Wow. I don't know the head of the center personally, but he's a pretty tough guy to go against the will of Hinamizawa. He used to work for the prefecture, so he's not familiar with the town council here. He's not treating this like it's a big deal. He's kind of stupid. This isn't any ordinary village he's up against. This is Hinamizawa. What a sad guy. We'll just have to fight them. I spoke with the other council members, and we all agreed that we can't stay quiet anymore. After all, we can't just nod our heads in defeat and back down after I put our name out there. We'll be heading to the consultation center after this ourselves. Okay. I'll get right on arranging for the town council to send some people too. I'm about to go consult Oryo-san on how to handle this. This isn't like with the dam conflict, though. It's an ordinary Saturday. Isn't it going to be difficult to get people to go? Well, Saturday isn't too bad. Don't worry, Kei-chan. This isn't a city. People are out there farming every day of the week. Whether it's a Saturday or a Tuesday doesn't really matter to them. It won't be that difficult to find people who are willing to help out. I see. I tend to think of adults as people who work at big companies. But this is Hinamizawa. I just caught a cat. I can play one-handed in this. I almost forgot about that. The regular government offices usually close at noon on Saturdays, but the Child Consultation Center is open until 3 p.m. Can we all be there at 1? I can't promise you how many people I'll be able to bring along, though. It doesn't matter how many people we get, as long as we get people. Thank you for your help. I'm so glad that more adults are involved now. Okay, buddy. Yeah, this is going to make a huge difference. The number of people we get will depend on what Oreo says. That's true. We'll see how serious she is about helping us based on how many people show up. If the hag's in as good a mood as my mother says, then we might get about 30 people. From both the staff and the youth group. I think that's a fair guess. 30 adults plus 10 children. It sounds better than yesterday. I'm coming too. I'll bring my megaphone. Megaphone. Yes. Your legendary megaphone. I thought it was broken. That's the one I used to have. The riot squad broke it. Ah, the memories. I can feel the spirit of Onikafuchi making my blood boil. It seems like we're going to be holding a festival on the day before Watanabe too. To the consultation center. I wonder if they're still going to tell us that there's no evidence of abuse just because she hasn't admitted to it yet. That's pretty likely. How are things going on your end, Rika-chan? Were you able to persuade Satsuko to seek help? I didn't even know she saw her. I did my best. It's all up to her now. I wish Satsuko would stop being so stubborn. Sis, There are both times one should and shouldn't be stubborn. I can understand how Satoko must feel. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean it that way. She might not want any help from us. But we wouldn't be her real friends if we couldn't see how scared she is. I agree. It'd be easy if Satoko asked us for help. But it'll be too late if we wait for that to happen. If there's a child in the middle of a busy street, you pull her to the sidewalk before talking to her. Sometimes actions have to come before words. Right. That's a good example. We have to pull her back to the sidewalk first. I've heard what's going on. Now, let's all get back to the classroom and start homeroom. School on Saturday. Go home and eat your lunches before you go to the child consultation center, okay? It's not good to skip meals. At that point, everyone was thinking there wouldn't really be 30 adults there to support us. However, we were wrong. I had no idea how serious Hinamizawa can get. By the time I get there with my 10 classmates, the quiet atmosphere around the library has completely disappeared. Oh my goodness. Are all these people from Hinamizawa? Not just Hinamizawa. I see some people from Okunomiya too. You're right. Some of them are even here in their work uniforms. What an incredible sight. Looks like Oreo got really serious. Apparently. This really is like old times. I've missed the way I felt during the dam conflict. Okay, what's going on today? Hey, Kamata-kun. Well, I just called on the whole village to come here. I thought you'd only be able to get kids. How'd you get all these adults here, too? You're making me weak in the knees, man. Whoa, there are so many working adults around. Little girls are mankind's greatest treasure. Of course this many of our comrades would gather here. Not only had many people shown up, but many different kinds of people, too. I wonder how many people there are. I think there's well over 100 so far. More people are still on their way, too. Maibara-san, I'm sorry for being late. What an amazing crowd you got together. So this is the power of Onikafuchi. I'd heard about this power before, but this is something else. We gotta remove the cat early today. Be right back. Alright, we're back. Unmuted. This reminded me more and more of the damn conflict. But to get this many people to show up, Keiichi-kun, you're amazing. You're the new face of Hinamizawa. Keiichi-kun! There sure are a lot of them, huh? Kimiyoshi-san, how many people did you talk to? Not quite sure. We just used the phone list and asked people to gather for a meeting of the Onikafuchi Guardians. Everyone left work and came right here. Well, yeah, if you'd be quiet. Hey, you there! This movement is an initiative of the town council, so don't use a banner with the name of the Onikafuchi Guardians on it, okay? I see Keiichi-kun's father. Hello! Hello, Rena-chan. Keiichi, I'm here to support you. Your mom wanted to come here too, but she had to stay home and wait for a phone call. She says to do your best and keep at it. I will, thank you. I've heard the stories about the damn conflict, but this is impressive. You're representing all of these people, right? Yeah. I was only representing 5 of us in the beginning. But it's grown so big now that I don't care if there are 100 or 1,000 people here. No matter what, I'll do everything I can to save my friend. Keiichi, this is it. Yep. Our force of arms is more than enough. Those losers are peeping at us through the curtains right now. They must be quaking in their boots. Sir, do you see all those people? What shall we do? There's nothing to do. Other than our jobs, of course. If they want to protest, let them. I need to leave for a business trip now, so you can handle them. But there's a banner that says, we want to talk with the head of the office. See? Ugh. That banner was the same one that the Onikafuchi Guardians had used in the past. They brought along as many banners as they could reuse. This one said the head of the office, but originally it meant the head of the construction office. Of course, the head of the Child Consultation Center didn't know about that. You spoke with 3 of those representatives the other day. According to the people from City Hall, these Hinamizoans have a good memory. If they see you walking outside to the parking lot, they'll recognize your face. Sir, there are some people protesting by the back door too. What do you mean? Are they going to kidnap me or something? During the dam conflict, it wasn't uncommon for people to get injured. If you can postpone your business trip, I'd recommend you do so. I guess that'd be for the best. It's not an emergency, so I'll just stay here for today. He was just trying to duck out. In the next moment, the crackling noise of a speaker echoed outside. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me? This is the Hinamizawa Town Council. We're sorry for causing trouble in our neighborhood. Testing, testing. They were adjusting the output of the speakers. A few trucks carrying those speakers were parked outside. The head of the consultation center finally realized, in that moment, what it really meant to fight against the village of Hinamizawa. There are so many people out there. They might barge in at any minute. If they come inside, they'll disturb our work. Don't let them in. It was half an hour past the appointed assembly time. The mayor told me that there were still a few more people on their way. Even more people are going to show up? Ren counted up all of the people here already and found that there were more than 150 of them. I really doubt we can get this many to come back by Monday afternoon. Hopefully we can finish this today. Alright, Keiichi-kun, let's begin. The mayor gave me the green light. He wanted us to chant our slogan in chorus before going inside. It really was like a real protest. All the others were fake. Michan, do you think all of us can fit inside that tiny office? Do you think so? Of course we can't all fit. We'll split up into those who can go in and those spilling out. That's why we had everyone start chanting together before we go in. Sis, you can't break or kick anything today. Like I'd ever do something like that. You got me in so much trouble when you pretended to be me doing all that. Hey, isn't that Oishi-san? I didn't expect to see him here. Of course, he's my mahjong friend. He came here to support me, even though he's not from Hinamizawa. Maibara-san! Hello there! Oishi-san, you're here right on time. We're getting ready to go inside right now. Oishi was accompanied by a few of his own men. He brought along 4 police officers in uniform. Maibara-san, I need to have a little chat with you. Oh, hello there, Mayor Kamiyoshi. Hello, Oishi-san. What brings you here? I need to have a talk with the 2 of you right now. May I? Oh, you can't be in private, please. Eh? What do you need from us? Well, you're on government property here. Obstructing it for any given reason is prohibited. I was really taken aback. I thought we were just getting started, but Oishi-san, and by that I mean the police, are telling you to break up the crowd. What do you mean? The government isn't going to listen to the voice of its citizens? Look, we're not doing anything wrong. We're here to ask them to help Satsuko. Why is that such a bad thing? You're protesting here without permission, for one. Also, there's a policy at this child consultation center, which allows the caretaker of the building to dismiss any client when he feels that they're disrupting their service. The caretaker of the building? Who's that? Well, that would be the head of the office here. What a cheap trick. He won't even let us speak our minds? Where are we supposed to protest then? If we have to get off the property, can we do it across the road? If you want to use public roads, you have to get permission from the Public Safety Department first. You'll have to contact them through the police. In other words, you have no choice but to disband for today. My Maibara-san. It seems they really do hate you. This is ridiculous. I don't believe this. We have so many people here in support of Satsuko. And you're saying we can't even talk to them? My friends soon all came running over. Oishi-san explained the situation to them, and they reacted exactly the same way I did. No way. That's horrible. No matter what we say to them, all they do is jot down the amount of people in the group. That's why we brought lots of people here today. But they do have the right to refuse us. There's nothing we can do about that. We have to either listen to the police or disregard what they say entirely. The damn conflict's been over for a while. I don't want to play that game anymore. Damn it. What are we going to do then? Do we just have to leave and come back later? The same thing will happen when we do. They'll just call the police again. The head of the consultation center has no intention of letting us in there ever again. We must have really upset him. So, what are we going to do now? We'll just have to be patient. If we can't protest on their property, we'll just have to do it from across the road. Seeing that every day will put a lot of pressure on them. That's going to take way too long. The government's like the Yakuza. It'll get more complicated if we keep making them mad. So even the Onikufuji Guardians can't do anything about this? How pathetic. Can't you do something about this, Uncle? Shion-chan, in a battle like this, you have to be patient. They're refusing us so blatantly, just like the construction office did in the damn conflict. So we'll just have to surround them and dig in for a prolonged fight. But that's not going to work. There are so many people here. I was supposed to end this today. Satsuko didn't come to school again today. Her uncle called and claimed that her cold had resurfaced. He promised that she'd be back on Monday. But hearing that wasn't any relief to us. Today is Saturday, so there are 2 more days until then. Nothing is guaranteed for Satsuko. In the world I imagined, it was too late to save Satsuko by the day before Watanagashi. The Satsuko in real life hasn't gotten to that point yet. But nothing guarantees that she'll still be fine in just 2 days. I don't know if she'll still be sane by the next time we see her. So this is going to be a stalemate? Do we really have to wait until they make their final decision? No, Keiichi-kun. We have no time to waste for Satsuko-chan. I just know that something bad is going to happen. We got help from this many people, yet we can't even go inside the building. Rika-chan said that with tears in her eyes. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I told Rika-chan that I could defeat anything if I put my mind to it. I don't want to give up here. Even a few days ago, we never imagined that we'd get this many supporters. We got approval from the town council, even from Mion's grandma. What else am I supposed to do? What else can we do to make our wish come true? Is there something that we haven't done yet? Son of a bitch. Rika-chan, you don't have to look so sad. Me? We're doing everything we can. You believe that, right? Yeah, I believe we did everything we can do. Then we just have to wait for the wind to come. We just have to wait. I'm sure that a strong wind is on its way. When is that? Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh, back at her house. Satsuko was sleeping like the dead. If he didn't send her to school, that annoying teacher might come to harass him again. He really wanted her to go to school today. However, no matter how much he forced her to wake up, she collapsed and went back to sleep. He touched her forehead and realized that she had a high fever. If he sent her to school like that, they might say something about it. He had no choice but to call the school and tell them that she's sick again. Chie asked him many questions, but Teppei told her that she really was sick this time. 1 hour later, he realized he had said something he shouldn't have to the teacher. Ever since he took Satsuko in, there had been nothing but trouble. The teacher came to visit him the day after he took her. He received calls every so often, too. They were all from the Child Consultation Center. Every single one of them told him to put Satsuko on the phone. Teppei was still certain that Satsuko wouldn't give him up, but because of her fear that he'd destroy Satsushi's room if he did. However, he wasn't sure how long she'd keep her silence. In short, Teppei had no idea whether or not Satsuko would continue to do as she was told. The only thing he knew for absolute certain was that he couldn't control her forever with fear alone. He could frighten her with just a look, but that fear wouldn't last for a very long time. He wanted to leave the house before Satoko got him into trouble. But in order to do that, he needed to find the bank book as soon as possible. Satoko was sleeping like an abandoned kitten inside of a wrinkled blanket. She was sweating heavily and breathing deeply. Both were signs of a very high fever. Teppei wasn't concerned in the least, of course. Instead, he felt that this was his chance. In that state, she wouldn't notice if he went into Sachiko's room. He'd promised her that he wouldn't mess around in there as long as she stayed obedient to him. In reality, he went inside Sachiko's room while Satoko was at school, but was very careful about putting everything back into place. However, by this point, he'd had enough. He was anxious to leave as soon as he could. Even Teppei could tell that Satoko's fever wasn't from a cold, but from emotional distress. If she got even sicker, it could cause even more trouble for him. He slowly creeped up the stairs, heading for Sachiko's room. He tried to open the door slowly, but was stuck on something. A trap. He assumed he'd just hit the furniture with the door, but in the next moment, crash! He heard this loud noise of falling metal. Something had been stuck behind the door. It had knocked over something on the bookshelf. Teppei clipped his tongue. He had been planning to sneak into Sachiko's room while Satoko was asleep. And shortly after that, he heard Satoko running up the stairs. She wasn't running just because she heard a noise. She was running because she heard a noise from Sachiko's room, and that meant that Teppei was trying to get inside it. Stop! Stop! Don't go inside Nini's room! Ah, fuck. I was just gonna look around for a minute. No damn luck. All I need is some cash. I know there's a bank book inside his room. I know that you hid it in there. Be a good girl and tell me where it is. I don't know anything about a bank book. It's not inside Nini's room. Don't mess around in there. Leave it alone until he comes home. I feel like if Sachiko had the bank book, then he wouldn't have needed to work. He could have escaped with that. Nini! Nini! Shut the fuck up. Satoko let out a dull cry as she went rolling across the floor. Nini! Nini! Satoko's screams echoed around the room. Hitting her would leave a mark, and then the Child Consultation Center would harass him, and maybe more than that. As a man of violence, it was already stressful enough to be warned not to hit her. But once he hit her on impulse like he just did, his restraint was all gone. Satoko was crying and holding her left cheek. She might have suffered a cut on the inside of it when he punched her. She had bloody drool trickling out of a corner of her mouth. Wah. Fucking hell, that did it. The center's gonna be back here next week. I'm gonna be in real shit if it's still swollen by then. Ah, god damn it. This is more trouble than it's worth. Quit with the nee already. Are you supposed to be a broken record or something? Can it, you little bitch? Teppei kicked her and she curled up on the floor. Ever since Rina had abandoned him, nothing good had happened at all. All he got was a whiny little girl. All she can do is cook and clean. Other than that, she just acts scared all the time. So once Satoko started crying like an infant, Teppei also lost his mind. I said, shut up! Didn't you hear me? Who are you whining to? Back at the office, maybe? Yep. Damn it. Oishi-san, will you please leave us alone for today? Satoko is in danger as we speak. Hey now, if you touch me, I can arrest you for obstructing the law. Damn it. Stop it, Kei-chan. He's just trying to piss you off. Hey, old man, you won't live long with that kind of attitude. Oh, now I'm scared. If you keep on talking to me like that, I'll arrest you for threatening an officer. Calm down, Keiichi-kun. He's on our side. What? What are you saying, Rena? Can't you see? He's being nice to you right now. He's saying these things because he's a policeman, but I think he's still on your side. If he really wanted to make us leave, he wouldn't be talking to us like this. He'd simply use force. But he's still blocking our way right now. How can he still be on our side? Oishi-san, you gotta call in the cruiser from the chief. Oh, thanks. I've gotta go for now. Start vacating the area, please. If you take another step forward, I'll take it as a declaration of war. Got it memorized? God damn it. Hello, Oishi here. Reading you loud and clear. Oishi-san, how's the situation there? It's fine. Everyone's being perfectly reasonable. There are quite a lot of people here, so it's taking time to break them up. Really? We're still getting calls from the Child Consultation Center. They're wondering when you can get them out of there. They'll leave soon. I've already spoken to the leader. It's taking time for him to explain it to his people. If they call again, tell them to wait for a little bit. I heard that the Onigufuchi Guardians are back in action, but it seems like it's not getting too messy this time. Yes, the damn conflict has been over for a long time. Just give them a little bit to pack up and leave. Oishi-san, how could you lie to him like that? You haven't made any progress in persuading the leader yet. Nah. Now, was that really a lie? The chief warned us that this could turn into a riot. I think we should call for help and shut this down before anything happens. Kuma-chan, don't be mean. Excuse me? He got this many people together in order to help his friend. That's no small feat, you know? The whole village is here, and that means he's persuaded Oryo Sonozaki. It wouldn't be easy for a young boy like him to persuade the Empress. You think Oryo Sonozaki is backing this crowd? The girl they're trying to help is Satsuko Hojo, the daughter of the dam supporters. It's hard to believe that the villagers would be trying to save her. There was a thick wall between them and the Hojo family, but he broke that wall down in just a few days. Actually, I've been following his progress up to this point. I saw him at their Wachanagashi planning meeting. He's a damn courageous boy. The elders screamed and yelled at him, but he wasn't scared at all. He magnificently brought them over to his side. After that, they told him that they'd support him if he could also persuade Oryo. Since he's here today, he apparently also succeeded at doing that. He's going to become someone big one day. You should probably get close to him while you still can. I knew it. You were taking it easy today. You're normally very direct, so I was surprised when you started negotiating with him. I want to see Maibara-san earn a little credit today. Uishi said something that he shouldn't say as a policeman. Kumagai had to struggle to understand what he meant. Giving Oishi a thin smile, he asked him a question. Do you want to leave without disbanding them? Nah, we don't need to treat them special. You don't know anything about the Onigufuchi Guardians. You and Maibara-san both. They're not as weak as you think. You'll see. You want to wait and see what they do, huh? As usual, we're doing a thankless job. Want a cigarette? Kumagai accepted the offer, taking a cigarette from Oishi's hand. In the next moment, two black vehicles stopped short in front of the building, their brakes screaming under the stress. There they come. Look closely, Kuma-chan. Several men wearing well-tailored suits emerged from the vehicles. Some of them looked like muscle-headed gangsters, and some of them more resembled intelligent businessmen. There was a clearly overbearing old man in a hakama with a crest, and what looked like a whole circle of Yakuza leaders arrived after him. Is Keiichi Maibara-kun present? Where is he? I'm Keiichi Maibara. How may I help you? Don't worry, we're on your side. Who are you exactly? Oh, hey, uncle! Why are you here? I can't believe he actually showed up. Shion and Mion's surprised reactions made me feel nervous. Keiichi-kun, you're the leader here. There's no need to hesitate. Let's go. The group of men clapped me on the shoulders. But I can't go. The police are here. Alright, stop right there, boys. I'm Oishi from the Okonomiya Police Department. Good afternoon. Where are you all heading? Who do you think you are? How could you stop law-abiding citizens from conducting a protest? Well, Sonozaki-sensei, we're here because the Child Consultation Center called us here. Sonozaki-sensei? Is he a teacher from some school? Wait, no, I don't have time to joke around. This man in a hakama must be the Sonozaki family's representative on the prefectural assembly. I heard that he's a really scary guy when he raises his voice, just like Mion's grandma. Shut! Get away, you damn pig! Who gave you orders to get in their way? Nah, the chief of police orders here. I can't disobey him, you know? The Okonomiya police chief? He's going to hear some real complaints from me later. Tell him to be ready. Oishi's partner was doing his best not to laugh. Okay. I'll relay that message to him. Anyway, there are rules in the city. Like how the caretaker of the building can order people to vacate their property, if he thinks that they can cause trouble for his business. As Oishi-san explained in a strange, half-troubled and half-delighted manner, one of the intelligent-looking guys started talking instead of Representative Sonozaki. Hello, I'm the attorney, Sonozaki, from the Sonozaki Law Consultancy Office. I went over the laws that apply to the Child Consultation Center. Their claim is unjust, and it could be considered an abuse of their official authority. Here's a copy of the regulations. Furthermore, Keiichi Maibara-san is the appointed leader of the Hinamizo Unified Council. This is the power of attorney issued by the Council. The Hinamizo Unified Council is a Good Samaritan organization of citizens formed under the observation of the Shishibone Local Government Section. That makes him a proper representative of the organization, and he went through the proper channels. Rejecting his appeal is a clear abuse of authority and violates the municipal public servant regulations. Therefore, the order made by the head of the Child Consultation Center is unlawful, and if the police continue to interfere with this movement, then... Okay. I understand. My apologies. Well then, you can carry on, everyone. That's what you should have said from the beginning. Let's go, Keiichi-kun. Wait, you might be disrupting their business if everyone goes inside. Don't worry. Only the representatives are going in. Is even that going to interrupt their business? With 4 couches in the visitors' room, I assume they can easily hold 10 people in there. I guess you know better. Please go. Go on ahead then. Maibara-kun, let's go. Nobody's going to stop us now. Oh, yes sir. Hey, Rena, Mion, Shion, Rika-chan. We're going in. Yeah, let's go. Is this all part of Oyo's plan? Probably. I didn't think she'd talk to these guys too. No matter how you look at it, it's the Sonozaki family giving us the most support. I wonder what made the hag change her mind. I'm not surprised at all. I always believed that Michan's grandma would help us. Really? I said some nasty things to her last night, but right now I could kiss her. Alright everyone, we're going inside. Yeah! Crowd cheers. The main event is about to begin. Maibara-san, please save Hojo-san. Help rescue Satoru-chan. Hey Maibara boy, good luck. This is your show. We wish you luck. Angel Mort Grenadiers, secure the path of retreat. Support the charge. Kay, show us what you got. I will. I'm going to get them. Maibara-san, we'll wait for you here. We look forward to hearing the good news. Yes, bring us good news. I'll be waiting for you too. I pumped up my fist in the air in response to their high expectations. We entered the Child Consultation Center, backed by the power of the Sonozaki family. I finally made it. It was cool inside the building, unlike the outside world. I could still hear the crowd, but at a lower volume. It was loud enough to hear their cheers. The staff in the building must have known who we were. They tried to concentrate on their work as if they didn't see us. Hello, sir. How may I help you today? I'm Maibara Keiichi. Wait, why did they change his name there? I'm here to request that Satoko Hojo be put under protection immediately. Just go get the person in charge here. A representative of the Hinamizo Town Council is here to see him. He is unable to see you at this time. I will take a message for him. Hello, I'm a lawyer for the Sonozaki Law Consultancy Office. For the purpose of its future use, I'll be recording our conversation from this point forward. We would like to be treated responsibly by the Child Consultation Center. I will try and see if he's available. Please wait for a moment. Hariyama-kun. It's been a while. Representative Sonozaki, how have you been? I'm here today as a member of the Hinamizo Town Council. May I see the head of the office, please? Of course. Hey, you. Take them to the reception area inside the boss's room and serve them some tea. I guess the power of a representative can really get public officials moving. I heard that there are both prefectural and municipal representatives in the Sonozaki family. We have the power of both of them today. That means we have nothing to fear. We were inside his office, but the head of the office wasn't to be found. I'm sure he's somewhere in this building. All the exits are blocked. There's no way he could escape from us. He better not be thinking that he can hide from us all day. The head of the office, in fact, was peeping out through the blinds of the meeting room on the second floor. He was shaking in fear. Why are they inside the building? What are the police doing? Well, actually, both the prefectural and municipal Sonozaki representatives are here. They have a lawyer with them, too. They're asking for an answer, but only management has the authority to respond. Okay, I've got it. Today is Saturday. It's nearly 3, right? I'll just stay here until then. Have them leave after we close up. Meanwhile, I'll talk with the municipal manager about what to do next. I thought he told you to concede. He said something about a town council. I was expecting a bunch of neighborly old men. I never thought I'd see representatives and lawyers in Yakuza. Who would have thought there would be 200 people out there? Well, that's Hinamizawa. Anyway, the office is closing in 10 minutes. I'm sure they'll threaten me if I meet with them. But I'm not going to concede. That's my duty as a civil servant. I've been working for the government for 40 years, and I'm not ashamed to boast about that. I'll never compromise just because some gangster threatens me. In the next moment, the phone in the conference room rang loudly. The head of the office nearly jumped out of his skin. Scared even of the phone, he told the manager to tell whoever it was that he wasn't there. Hello? This is Hariyama. Oh, thank you. I'll let him know. Sir, it's the municipality calling. Hello? I'm in deep trouble. There are about 200 people surrounding the consultation center right now. They even have representatives on their side. What should I do? I did tell you this would happen. But it's your job as a municipal government to control trouble within the town councils. Do something about this. It is your sworn duty to take care of this. That's not our job. Our job is to support the growth of the local communities of the region, and I don't care. Can't you do something about this? At this point, you have no choice but to accept their requests. I think you should stop being so stubborn about policy. A government is there for its citizens, isn't that right? Can't you just peacefully accept their appeal? You're an official too, aren't you? How dare you take the side of the town council? I'm not going to concede. I'm going to follow the regulations. A civil servant's duty is to conduct business impartially. I've never broken that rule in my entire career. I passed the administrator's exam because I always follow the rules. Well, it's your decision. We'll do our best to help, but I told you, didn't I? I know I did. I know I told you not to get them upset. But fine. I won't ask for your help anymore. I'm hanging up the phone. Click. Sir, even if you manage to get away from them today, they'll come back again on Monday. What are you going to do then? I'm sure that mayor knows about this by now. This will definitely come up at the weekly meeting. I haven't done anything that would upset the mayor. No matter what he says to me, that's what I'll tell him. Eek. The phone rang once again. Also, once again, the head of the office trembled in fear. The manager had to reluctantly pick up the phone. Yes. Eh? Can you transfer it here? Yes, this is the right office. One moment, please. Sir, you have a call from City Hall. City Hall? Not the municipal offices? Who is it now? It's the mayor. Yes, that's right. They're members of the town council in Hinamizawa. Yes, I understand. Please listen to what they have to say. Now, that's not true. It's important to be impartial and unbiased, but you must act according to the occasion. Yes, please do so. After you're done, please come to the mayor's office and give me your report. I expect you by 6 p.m. Thank you very much. The man spoke with a gentle demeanor, but in a tone that didn't allow objection. Then the elderly man in a double suit set the receiver down. Thank you for that. Ori was sitting on the couch in the reception area. Akane was there with her too. Not a problem. It's been a while since you visited City Hall. I was surprised to see you here today. Sorry for the surprise. If I'm going to ask someone for a favor, I want to see them in person. Thank you, really. It's no problem at all. I'm sorry that our staff were so impolite. I should have taught them better. Maintaining a good relationship between municipal governments and town councils is vital. So he says. However, the mayor couldn't believe that Empress Sonozaki came all the way to see him just to save one little girl. It's a huge deal when Oryo Sonozaki comes directly to his office. It's also unusual for her to do things indirectly to begin with. Rather than leading the charge herself, she was having Keiichi Maibara save Satoko. The mayor understood that she was doing this so Keiichi Maibara would get all the credit. Because of that, he was very interested in this young Keiichi Maibara. I'm sort of interested to see what happens in the future if they show that. He sounds like quite the young man. I can't believe that he's gone so far just to save his friend from an abusive relative. I know. He's one of a kind. I'm not worried about the future of Hinamizawa as long as someone like him is around. I can die peacefully now. Please, Mother, don't joke around like that. It was worth living this long if I was able to meet someone like him. Take care of that Keiichi boy if something happens again. You've grown so fond of him. Are you still mad at me for not having any boys? It was now 3 p.m., and I heard the announcement that the center was closing. The head of the office finally showed up in the room. He seemed like a totally different person. When I first met him, he had a cold attitude and responded to questions with blunt answers. But now he was much nicer and agreed with everything we said. I guess the power we held must have intimidated him. If I was alone, I would have never gotten him to listen to me. It's thanks to everyone's support that I'm able to talk to him now. I understand. I'm very sorry for all the confusion. We'll take action immediately. Manager, please call Hojo-san's house right now. Yes, sir. Satoko, finally. You're finally free. Except, Teppei stopped kicking her as soon as he heard the phone ring. He could ignore the call, but if it was someone from the Child Consultation Center, they might become suspicious of him. Well, I mean, you could be home. He'd hurt Satoko enough to leave bruises. He couldn't let them visit, so he had no choice but to deal with them over the phone. That's enough for now. You better remember where you hid the bank book by the time I come back. All Satoko could do was curl up and cry. Hello, who is it? Good afternoon. This is the Shishiboni Child Consultation Center. Again? Do you guys have nothing better to do? Why don't you stop calling me and work on your other cases? You're getting paid with the taxes I pay, you know. We're very sorry to interrupt you. One of our social workers will be visiting your home shortly. May I get permission for them to enter the premises, please? No way. We're cleaning the whole house right now. We can't have any visitors today. Come back again some other time. The Child Consultation Center wouldn't give up. Teppei wanted to hang up the phone, but if he did, he knew that they'd show up for sure. I was told that Satoko-san didn't come to school today. She's home, isn't she? If she's really sick, she should be resting at home, I expect. There's something quite urgent that I need to ask her. What the hell do you need her for? I'm her guardian, so I'll answer you instead. Are you refusing to put Satoko-san on the phone? I'm not refusing. I'm just saying that I'll answer your questions in her place. Can't you see what I'm saying? What's your name, anyway? I'm asking you one more time. May I speak with Satoko-san, please? Yeah, damn it. He thought dealing with government officials was a bit like playing whack-a-mole. If you hit them hard enough, they won't show up for a while. But today, whoever was on the phone seemed so provocative and self-assured. Teppei sensed that they'd definitely come to the house if he didn't put Satoko on. And if they sounded like that over the phone, if they came to the house, they might be bringing along more than just a couple of people. For all Teppei knew, they might even bring a police officer. If they did, he couldn't turn them away at the entrance. He knew too well just how scary police officers could be. Look, wait a minute. I'll go and wake her up. Give me some time. He covered the phone with his hand and spoke to Satoko downstairs. Oh, Satoko! The Child Consultation Center wants to ask you something. Can you come to the phone, please? Even though he had just been beating her, Teppei was addressing Satoko in a sweet, phony voice. It would disturb people to hear him talk like that. Satoko knew that his sweet voice was the scariest tone of voice he had. She couldn't refuse after hearing him talk like that, so she obeyed him and went Upstairs? Should be downstairs, no? Yeah. Teppei grabbed Satsuko's shoulder with all his might and whispered in her ear, no matter what happens, we're a happy family, right? Don't you dare forget that. Alright? Yes. Remember, if you upset me, I'll destroy Sashi's room. If you behave well, I promise you that I will never enter this room again. Is that a deal? Huh? Huh? He squeezed her shoulder even tighter. Satsuko contorted her face in pain. We're making up now, right? Huh? Yes. We're a happy family. Teppei gave the phone to Satsuko as soon as she nodded. He stood behind her, continuing to grip her shoulders tight. It was like a raptor gripping its prey with its sharp talons. Satsuko Hojo-san? This is Hariyama speaking, from the Child Consultation Center. How's everything going so far? Are you having any problems with Teppei-san? The volume on the phone was low enough that Teppei couldn't hear what they were saying. However, he squeezed Satsuko's shoulders harder and urged her to say something, because her silence could be interpreted as a negative answer. Yes, everything is working out between my uncle and I. You don't have any problems with him? Ah, sure, go ahead. Hello, Satsuko. It's me, Keiichi. Are you okay? Ah, yeah. It's safe here. Satsuko, we're about to come save you. If you admit that you need help, the Child Consultation Center will put you under their protection immediately. It's not just the center either. The mayor of Shishibone City is supporting us too. Crazy, isn't it? It's all thanks to the Sonozaki family. Mion's grandma is doing all of this for you. Satsuko always felt bitter towards the Sonozaki family, because they were often the ones talking about her behind her back. She hated Oreo most of all. It didn't make sense to her that Oreo would do anything to help her. I know you went through a lot of hard times after the dam conflict. I didn't notice it, but you were being treated coldly for a long time. But I took care of all those people for you. No one will ever treat you badly in Hinamizawa again. I wish I could show you all the people that have gathered around the Child Consultation Center right now. Everyone from Hinamizawa is here to save you. They're even skipping the preparation for tomorrow's festival. Huh? Oh, sure. I have a message from the Sonozaki family. Mion's grandma said to say hello to you. She's sorry about how she treated you. She wants you to come visit her house sometime. You hear that? She's on your side now. She went to see the mayor in person, just for you. But you know, the same goes for us too. We've been coming to the Child Consultation Center every day since you were taken away. Everyone has been supporting us, and all for your sake. Now we have the whole village of Hinamizawa on our side. Hang on, Rika-chan. Rika-chan wants to talk to you. Sorry. Satsuko, it's Rika. Rika. Keiichi brought it all to an end for you. The people of Hinamizawa aren't going to be mean to you anymore. So no one will ignore you when we go shopping together. They won't treat you differently from me anymore. No one will treat you coldly anymore. Satsuko wasn't sure if she should feel happy or sad that Rika noticed how badly the villagers were treating her. All she could do was let out a bitter laugh. I can't believe that. Indeed, I can't believe it either. Rika? Satsuko was surprised. She was surprised to hear Rika's voice sound so mature over the phone. She almost sounded like a different person. When you were taken away by your uncle, I thought it was an unchangeable fate. I gave up, thinking that there was nothing but a dead end ahead of us. I'm sure you felt that way too. But I found out that there's no such thing as fate. There's no dead end ahead of us. Keiichi broke that wall down and smashed it into a million pieces. Satsuko, don't give in to misfortune anymore. We're almost there. All you need to do is nod your head. But I have to get stronger. That's because of how much you suffered. You're trying to overcome that. You felt guilty towards Sachi because you hid behind his back when you were abused by your aunt. I know that you're trying to take Teppei's abuse as a form of self-punishment. I understand you're trying to get stronger as an apology towards your brother. I can respect that courage, and it shows how much you've grown up. Sachi would be proud of you if he was here right now. He would pat your head. He would pat it so gently. Nee. Did you really believe what I just said? That's not good, Satsuko. You're nowhere near as strong as Sachi. Not at all. Rika's words were suddenly toned with malice, penetrating Satsuko's heart the moment she thought she was saved. You think that taking this abuse will make you stronger. But is this really that different from last year? You're just waiting here for Sachi to come home. You're waiting for him to come back and save you again. You don't even know what kind of strength Sachi held within him. Sachi didn't just cry and quake in fear like you're doing. He fought. He fought his horrible aunt. He fought in order to save you. Remember the sight of Sachi standing up to your aunt? The one you cried in terror from, with his arms spread wide to protect you? Sachi was just as scared as Satsuko was. All she'd ever seen was her brother's back. She had no idea what kind of expression he was wearing on his face. He didn't want to stand in front of his furious aunt. But he had no choice if he wanted to protect his sister. Satsuko never once saw how scared he was, and she never once saw how courageous he was in spite of that. Sachi fought. He didn't just take the violence that was dealt to him. He fought it and struggled against it. I was no different from you once. I stopped fighting because I gave up. I stopped struggling against it. I chose to accept fate and quietly endure my pain. I thought it was a waste of time to seek help. Just like you. I was just waiting for someone to come along who would change my circumstances. But I've decided to fight. That's why I'm on the phone with you now. I'm going to change this fate on my own. I'm going to persuade you to nod your head. Satsuko. He's right behind you, isn't he? Yes, he's here. Look at his face now. See how evil and scary he looks. Realize how brave Sachi was to fight back against that furious face. If you want to give something back to Sachi, don't just take his abuse without seeking help. You have to do what Sachi did for you. Can't you recognize that? Satsuko slowly looked back at her uncle, though she was afraid to do so. He was wearing an unpleasantly broad grin while gripping her shoulders so tightly. Ultimately, it wasn't even really about dealing with her aunt or uncle. It was about dealing with her fear. Sachi faced his fear. He could have chosen to run from it, or to sit and take it, but he fought for his little sister instead. He fought that fear and didn't falter. And what was Satsuko doing? She believed that the violence she was suffering was the punishment she deserved. However, Rika wasn't wrong. Satsuko wasn't trying to gain strength at all. She was only shutting herself out until someone came to save her. She wasn't doing anything on her own. She was only waiting for someone else to do something about it. Sachi faced it. He faced this fear. That was his strength. Are you scared? Are your teeth chattering? Are you feeling shivers running down your spine? That's exactly how Sachi felt when he tried to protect you. You have to understand that. Do you know what Sachi wanted from you? Do you know what he was trying to show you? If you don't know, Sachi will never come back to you. What's the deal? What's taking so long? Satsuko was consumed by fear. Her teeth were chattering, and she felt shivers running down her spine. And that was what Sachi felt every time she cried. Show us your strength, Satsuko. Show Sachi how much you've grown up over the past year. Show Sachi that you've grown as brave as he is. Rika, but Even if she asked for help that very minute, Teppei wasn't just going to disappear. Once she asked for help, she'd need to survive until someone physically came to her house to rescue her. Satsuko ached all over her body. Her wounds were pulsing along with her heartbeat, and she could taste the blood in her mouth. It wasn't as easy as Rika made it sound. One nod wasn't going to solve everything at once. They had no idea how hard it was for her to nod. What did her Nini look like when he protected her? She couldn't remember his face, but she remembered the strength in his words. And she even may have heard a little bit of fear in his voice. But even so, he still fought. He faced his fears and fought for her sake. Satsuko was scared, just like Reese said. Her teeth were chattering, and she felt shivers running down her spine. But she had to face him. She had to challenge him, to fight him, and to break the cycle. Satsuko, I'm going to give the phone to an employee of the consultation center. Tell them with your own words. Yes. Yes. Show me that courage. Hello again. It's Hariyama from Child Consultation Center. Please allow me to ask you one more time. Are there any problems between you and your uncle? Satsuko looked at Teppei again as she listened to the question. Looked straight into the face of terror. All she ever did was hide behind Sachi's back. Show me that courage. It wasn't only Rika. Her Nini was watching her too. Me. Excuse me? Could you please repeat that? Help me! The moment the words left her mouth, Teppei clocked his knees upside her head with every bit of strength he had in him. Satsuko rolled down the hallway, still clutching the telephone receiver. Oh, Satsuko, you finally betrayed me, huh? I hate you! Get out of my house! This house belongs to my Nini and me. This house belongs to my family. I hate you! Get out of here! You little bitch! Satsuko wasn't going to just take a beating any longer. Instead, she spread her arms wide and jumped onto her uncle. Of course, that wasn't going to hurt Teppei at all. Satsuko was as weak as a newborn puppy to him. That was, however, the best attack she had at her disposal. Satsuko was fighting for the first time in her life. She had decided to stop waiting for somebody to save her. In the end, Satsuko was the only one who could save herself. Enduring her uncle's violence had never meant anything at all. She had thought she learned something from her Nini, but she had been mistaken this whole time. What's with that look in your eyes, huh? I'm going to push your front teeth in. But just as Teppei raised his fist, someone loudly hammered on the front door. Teppei Hojo! Open up! This is the police! Teppei couldn't help but jump in surprise. It had barely been a minute since Satsuko asked for help over the phone. Open up this door. If you don't, we're going to break it down. How did it turn out? How's Satsuko-chan? Satsuko-chan asked for help. The Child Consultation Center is going to take action now. But she's still in danger. Teppei might kill her for betraying him. We had heard a violent noise right after she asked for help. In other words, Satsuko had been brave enough to do that in front of her uncle. We have to get there right away. Can someone give us a ride? Several of the villagers who came by car started their engines. The crowd had started to realize what was going on. Damn it. We're coming as fast as we can, Satsuko. Oh, don't worry about that, Maibaro-san. The police entered the Hojo residence not a moment ago. He wouldn't have had any time to hurt Satsuko-chan. What? But why? No idea. It's a mystery to me. Anyway, could you break up this crowd already? I'll be leaving for now, so excuse me. Have a good year! Oishi must have contacted someone as soon as he heard Satsuko asking for help. The police had surrounded Satsuko-chan's house ahead of time? I get it. They were suspecting him of Rina's murder. It all makes sense now. Wait, who's Rina? Get in the car, everyone. Let's hurry back to Hinamizawa. There were several officers combing the Hojo residence. Satsuko was sitting by the porch, talking with another officer. She had some painful-looking bruises all over her face. Satsuko-chan, are you okay? Are you? Oh. Do I look okay to you? Coach, she needs treatment right away. Let's take her to the clinic. Can you walk, Satsuko-chan? Satsuko nodded to the coach and stood up. It looked painful for her, but even so, I felt relieved to see her better than I expected. Might tear up soon. However, the cruel bruises inflicted over her body were all too horrible to look at. I'll never forgive that man for abusing a little girl like her. My body shivered in anger. Satsuko. Oh. Did you see what I did, Rika? I can act when it counts. Yes, I saw your courage. You won. You broke the bonds of fate. Both Rika-chan and Satsuko cried and hugged each other. I soon heard another car coming. I immediately knew who it had to be. It was Oishi-san's police cruiser. We should have acted more quickly. I'm sorry we weren't more help. No, don't be sorry. If not for you, Oishi-san, he would have done even more horrible things to her. Thank you so very much. I guess you can be a nice person sometimes. So, how is she doing? The coach is looking after her. She was injured pretty badly. Oh, Kuma-chan. What happened to Teppei? We got him. Komiyama-san took him to the station. So he won't come back to this house ever again? It's not like he's going to get the death penalty or his life sentence. I don't want to think about this, but he might come back someday. Yeah, well, we won't let him. I'll make sure he can never come back to this village. Oh my, oh my. The successor of the Sonozaki family is saying such scary things already. You can't threaten him or anything, you know? I'm not going to threaten him. I'm just going to advise him that he should never come back to the Hinamizo or Okunomiya. Otherwise, something terrible might happen to him. Ah, I guess advice isn't too bad then. Nah. So is Satoko-chan free now? Is that really it? Is it over? I don't know. I think there will be more issues to come. Once Teppei loses his parental rights, they'll need to find a new guardian for Satoko. Someone has to take care of her. But there's no need to worry. I'm sure that the Sonozaki family is going to back her up. We'll make sure Satoko is happy. Irie took Satoko to the clinic. He says her injuries aren't as bad as they look, though. Really? That's good to hear. I wonder if she can leave the clinic by tomorrow, I wonder. I'm sure those injuries will take more than a day to heal. That's not what she's talking about, me. Tomorrow's the Watanagashi festival. It's been a really hectic week, but if we can all go to the festival together, I think that will be our happy ending. Right. It'll serve as proof that we got our happy world back with our own hands. I agree. I'm sure Satoko wants to see Kei-chan's auction in action. Ah, I almost forgot about that. Satoko will be coming for sure. Before I knew it, lots of people from the village had joined us. They were the same people who came to the Child Consultation Center to support us. They wanted to know if Satoko was safe. Considering her injuries, safe might not be the right word. However, she is free from the curse of her uncle now. Her emotional scars will slowly heal. We'll be there for her, as her friends. No, it wasn't just us anymore. The whole village is going to be there for her. The ghost of the dam conflict won't haunt Satoko any longer. It was a very long week. In this 1 week, we united. We fought. We overcame. And we won. It wasn't an easy victory. However, the price we paid was more than worth it. Tomorrow is the Watanagashi festival, the biggest festival in the village. It's a huge event where we worship the guardian of this village, Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama is a god who united two enemy peoples. The curse on the Hojo family has disappeared, and Satoko is truly going to be a part of the village. We'll all be playing at the festival together. This is a perfect, happy ending. When our ordinary days were taken from us, we all felt so powerless. But now we have everything back. What else can you call that but a miracle? No, you can't actually call it that. Miracles can be created when everyone works together. What's impossible to do alone becomes possible when everyone joins forces. With everyone's power, we were able to make impossible things happen. And that's only a natural outcome of everyone doing their best together, so it's not a miracle. In other words, it was inevitable. The old legends in this village tell us that Oyashiro-sama made it possible for humans and demons to live together. I'm not sure what that story really means, but I'm sure that Oyashiro-sama made something impossible happen. We can be proud of what we did. I'm sure Oyashiro-sama is proud too. Hey, Mara boy, we did it! You pulled it off. It was worth showing up every day. My supporters cheered me on. They were all glad that Satoko was finally safe. The sense of accomplishment at saving Satoko finally hit us, and we hugged each other, sharing praises for our struggle. The next day. Maybe afternoon? Yeah, probably afternoon. Yep. Satoko and Rika-chan were already there, waiting for me. While the injuries on her face, covered with band-aids, looked painful, Satoko seemed to be full of life. It almost looked as though her wounds were from playing too hard or something. So you stayed at the clinic last night? Yes, I told him I was fine, but the coach wanted to keep an eye on me. If that's what the doctor said, then you should listen to him. I see. You were scared to stay at the clinic alone, weren't you? I heard there are lots of ghosts inside hospitals. Satsuko can't sleep without me. Oh, why can't you sleep without her? Why? That's because Riki-chama is the only one who can give her comfort. No sooner had Shion finished that sentence than a bucket went flying into her face. Satsuko started chasing Shion in circles, like they were playing tag. I really missed this rambunctious fun. I thought I'd never see this again. I felt the same. But we got it back. We did this. I think you did the most. It was your idea to go to the Child Consultation Center, and you were the one who asked everyone for their support. I agree. I think Kei-chan contributed the most. Most people in Hinamizawa know who Keiichi Maibara is by now. Oh, is Keiichi-kun going to be a popular guy now? Is he? I bet he'll be incredibly popular. Popular among old ladies, that is. I really envy him. I'd be fine with that if I could divide their ages by 3. Just 3? I mean, yeah, sure. Many people were wearing yukatas. It was still June, but it felt more like it was the middle of summer. Once we finished climbing the stairs, we could see the festival and the crowd enjoying it. The Furude Shrine was packed with people, leaving the grounds looking nothing like their usual quiet self. Lanterns of various colors were hung about, and people were swamming the various festival booths, giving the whole place an unorganized yet pleasant atmosphere. What a crowd! I had no idea there were even this many people in Hinamizawa. Everyone comes to this festival. I think at least half of the population of the village is here. There's more than just them. The neighboring town councils and youth groups are invited too. I see. We only have a few students in our school. That explains why there are so many kids around today. Hearing the happy cheers of children is the best part of the festival. She's right. I'm in agreement there. There were lots of booths around too. They were by far the best part of the festival. Booths selling takoyaki, yakisoba, shaved ice, apricot candy, sauce senbei, chocolate bananas. There was a yo-yo game, a goldfish game, a shooting gallery. There were countless booths here. Those booth runners all came from the city. You can't call it a festival without festival booths. So we're going to have a battle in every one of them, huh? I'm not going to lose today. Yeah, same here. Let's do it. Yellow. Sorry I'm late. Am I the last one? Everyone's here now, huh? Once our club gets together, there's no way we can just sit back and enjoy the festival. Of course not. We're doing it again this year. This Wachanagashi festival, for this 6 of us, will be the battle of 6 evils. Satsuko, there's no reason to hold back this year. Let's enjoy the festival with all our might. Oh, you don't even need to mention it. I too declare that I will be the victor. Yeah, Satsuko, you go, girl. Let's put everything that happened before tonight behind us. Let's play with everything we got. It's been a good week since we all got together. Yeah. Tonight we're all enjoying this festival to its fullest. Do. I guess we're seeing it from Rika's, which, while this solved Sashiko's problem, it doesn't say that Rika's problem is solved. Wow, it's skipping through everything for us, except maybe the auction and the dance. I think that's the order it goes in. Yeah. Yeah, literally everyone's here. Let me see if I can skip a tiny bit. Oh! Oh no. As we enjoy the fest. Stupid me. I'm gonna load and just skip to the point we were just at. Sorry. Skip. And that gives me a few seconds to drink. delicious water. Let's see, right now we're doing the police is stopping them. Tepe's side. And now we have the lawyer. Now we have me plugging in my phone. Alright, now we're going in very soon. Alright, now we're having a big talk over the phone. Rika. She's almost about to fight back. Well, it took a bit over a minute. I just gotta remember after the teachers or someone else after them. Alright, almost to the festival. Yep, we're at the festival. I might want to skip to manual skipping now. Alright, we're talking about starting it. Now we're starting. Okay. There's them. Waiting for the teacher. Okay. Right around here. Okay. As we enjoy the festival, many people call out to Satoko. Some of them show concern for injuries, some of them express their sympathy, and some of them offer her support. She must have been happy to hear all that. She says it's strange to see people treating her like this, but I think she's just trying to hide her true feelings. I'm sure she realizes just how much the village changed for her. My, hello! You all seem to be enjoying yourselves. Hi, Rika-chan. I'm here like I promised. The festival sure has grown into its splendor. Who's this guy? You know him, Rika? Akasaka is never there when I need him. Huh? What are you talking about? Did I do something to make you upset? No. While you were at the hot springs with your wife, things sure got hectic around here. How? Rika-chan is talking with some strange older guy. I wonder if he's someone she knows. I wonder. Who is he? Who is he? Introduce him to this old man, too. Another one? When Akasaka showed up, I still believed that fate could be changed through the power of a single hero alone. But that was my mistake. Miracles are not made by one person. They can only be achieved by everyone working together. So it was wrong for me to expect him to just magically change my fate. Even if he had been here for me, I might have been disappointed in him for not being able to do anything. He didn't do anything wrong, but I acted all bitter towards him anyway. I feel guilty after saying what I did. I really shouldn't act this way anymore. I should celebrate the fact that after so many years, we're together again. Hey, Myra boy, I heard what you did. I heard about it too. I heard you fought Oyo-san with the sword until she finally gave in. Good on you. I didn't do that. We just had a peaceful negotiation. Still, I'm proud of you. You led everyone and actually negotiated with the center. Hey you, I'll give you some apricot candy. How many do you want? Wow, Keiichi-kun, you're so popular today. I'm sure Keiichi is into old ladies, too. I don't know what Rika's trying to say. I don't even want to know. Oh, another one. People are talking to Keiichi, too. The whole village knows about his leadership skills now, especially in how he persuaded Oryo. Everyone had been aware for a very long time that they were only treating Satoko harshly because of the tradition formed since the dam conflict. However, Keiichi is the one who destroyed that cycle, and the people of Hinamizuwa, both young and old, see him as a hero. With the whole village talking about Keiichi, of course, that auction he hosted ended up being a great success. Though he was shy in the beginning, he put his heart and soul into the show, and managed to entertain all the onlookers. I'm sure Keiichi will bring many more good things to the village. The elders especially are glad to see a heroic young man like him. And I guess we go straight to the dance. Oh, that's the guy who helped us yesterday. Thank you so very much for your assistance. Oh, I should have introduced him to you then. This is my Uncle Saburo, who's in the Prefectural Assembly. This is my other uncle, Ken, and he's in the City Council. Sorry that we were late yesterday. We got lost on our way there. No, you both were a great help. I was really impressed to see the power of elected officials. Well, we're chosen to fight in place of the citizens. Of course we're strong. We're glad Satsuko-chan is safe. Talk to us again if there's anything you need. We'll be glad to help. They rubbed Satsuko's head while they spoke. Thank you very much. Oh, more. There are a number of powerful Sonozaki people standing around the main tent. All of them are people who helped us yesterday. Everyone except Satsuko bows out of respect. Until just a few days ago, those people had nothing but terrible things to say about the Hojo family. It was Keiichi, of course, who cleared all that away. I'm sure they regret their rudeness, and I'm also sure that they'll never discriminate against Satsuko again. In fact, they bow to her instead, and apologize for all they've done. They promise her that they'll be glad to help her in the future if she ever needs anything. You must be proud of your son. Oh no, it's not really a big deal. Hey Keiichi, we're here too. Keiichi-kun's parents are here. Good evening. Nice to meet you. I'm Keiichi's Meow Meow, Rika. What? Nice to meet you. My name is Satsuko Hojo. So you're Satsuko-chan. I gotta see what that says in Japanese. It probably is about the same, but... Hajimemashite nanodesu. No nya nya. Wo shite orimasu. What? That's ka, so I guess that's Ri. What is that? Something, though. Is that Keiichi's name? Oh yeah, because of Ichi. Keiichi. So it's just nya nya. English, please. So you're Satsuko-chan. Such a poor little girl. Look at her face. You can make use of Keiichi if anything happens again. In return, what would you think about modeling for me? Oh, jeez. Your father reminds me a bit of the coach. Sorry. That's just the kind of person he is. Still, he seems very nice and fun to be around. Oh. Keiichi's parents are also here at the festival. Since they're the parents of a hero, they're getting special treatment too. From what Keiichi says, this has been a good opportunity for his parents to get to know people from the village. His father is telling people that he'll draw up a picture if the council ever needs a poster for anything. Apparently, Keiichi's father is such a wonderful artist that people have tried stealing his work before. I'm looking forward to seeing it someday. Oh, Hanyu. This is the best Watanagashi festival I've ever had. Yes, I feel the same way. You've been around a lot longer than me. If it's your best one, then it must be mine too. Oh, well. Still, I think this is the most fun and exciting festival we've had since it became known as Watanagashi. The Watanagashi festival only became like this just a few years ago, didn't it? It used to be just a boring traditional ceremony that the Furude family held. And before that, it used to be something different, more like the things that Takano is interested in. Oh. Sorry. I'll try not to be mean to you today. Let's go have fun. The both of us. It's a special night for both me and you. But is it? Oh. Hanyu was muttering to herself. We had once seen a world where Shion killed Satsuko. Oh yeah. Both that horrible world and this fantastic one. They're the same Hinamizawa. People in this world only know that Hinamizawa is a happy place. But Hanyu and I know the truth. We know that there's tragedy hiding behind only a thin sheet of paper. That's why we can appreciate this world in a way greater than everyone else can. If Keiichi has lost his mind, today would have never happened. He would have been committing a crime tonight. If it happened to Shion, she would have done the same. And Rena would have beaten her to it by a long shot. That corpse would have been long buried by now. Mion never lost her mind in any of the worlds. Maybe she doesn't have the guts for that. Well, I suppose that's a little mean. There were times when I went on a rampage too, but no matter what, I ended up being killed instead. How pathetic. Either way, it never worked in any world. We could never get our happiness back like that. That's why I gave up. Again, it only happened because everyone helped each other. I'm not trying to take credit for anything. but I don't think the miracle would have happened if I continued not believing in it. If I hadn't gotten on the phone at the end, Satsuko wouldn't ask for help. The miracle happened because everyone tried their hardest. If even one of us gave up, the miracle would have vanished into nothingness. It was Keiichi even who told me how easy it really is to change your fate. If there's a meaning to Keiichi's existence here, it might be some kind of message. Thanks to him, I know not only what it means to fight against fate, but how. I'll never give up and accept my fate again. This is the opposite of what Hanyu wants me to think. But I'm sure that Hanyu can make a miracle happen too if she stops giving up and starts believing. I even told her so, but she just goes, oh, well, and avoids the subject. I'm just gonna let it go. Maybe it's not going. Should have a bit more to go still, I assume. Since we have the post-Watanagashi, right? Oh? Am I mistaken? Huh. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. Even God doesn't know when he will descend once more. He is constantly prepared for that day to come. Have faith in your God at all times. Your God doesn't even know when he'll see the light. Do not spare any effort. Study hard every day. Have the passion for discovery. You never know when you will be rewarded, but that day will come for sure. Until then, you must let the fires of your passion burn bright. Hifumi tea? I guess there's still one more chapter. I was mistaken. Uh-oh. Maybe I won't finish it today. Yep, there's these two. Ah, yeah, I remember you telling us about that. But why? Why do you think Takano-san and I will be murdered? My. Frankly, it would be an honor for us to be the victims of the fifth curse of Oyashiro-sama. As I'd expected, they didn't really take me telling them that they'd be killed on the night of the festival seriously. They did keep their promise to tighten up my security after I showed them the ritual storehouse. However, they hadn't given one thought to their own safety. Oh well, like I said, I didn't expect them to believe me. If they were willing to take me seriously, I could have easily changed their fate a long time ago. I'm only going to tell you this one more time. Tomitake, you're going to claw out your own throat and die. Takano, you're going to burn to death on top of some mountain. I'm going to claw out my throat, like the terminal symptoms of L5? Don't worry, I took the shots. I don't have the disease. What happens to me is horrible too. I'm going to burn to death on some mountain? Did you have a dream about that? I just want both of you to be careful, at least for tonight. Please listen to me, even if you don't really believe it. Did you have an ominous vision about some danger befalling us, perhaps? Don't worry. You're under the protection of the mountain dogs. You've had 8 security guards watching you today. Thank you very much. I know I'm being protected, but I want you guys to be careful too. Thank you for your concern. We'll be fine. I've even been working out. I think I can protect myself. Tomitake flexed his biceps and smiled. He was probably trying to make me feel better. But all he really did was make me feel sadder. This is the sad part about being me. I know the future, but I can't tell them. It's as if that was a rule of the world. People tend not to believe what I tell them. But you are going to die. If Tomitake and Takano die, I'll be killed next. If the two of you are dead, who will protect me? It sounds like you had a horrible dream. Don't worry. Even if we die, the mountain dogs will still protect you. Are you really sure they would? They've never protected me before. That's not true. They saved you when you got in a fight, remember? They're watching you at all times. Of course they aren't on alert at all times. But just as you requested the other day, the security around you is still extremely strong. You even have a better security team than Dr. Irie. They'll keep on protecting me even after you die? Of course. You're the most important person to us. So you're sure that we're getting killed tonight? That's too bad. If you have no intention to survive, then I only have to worry about myself. My words must have left a mark on his heart. He looked much more serious after I said that to him. Good grief. Okay then. I'll be extra careful tonight. I'll take a security guard with me while I'm going back to Okonomiya. I think someone might attack the two of you if you're alone together. Make sure not to be alone with each other tonight. My, are you jealous? You're such a precocious girl. Like I thought, I can't change their fate. When we saved Satsuko, everyone shared the same sense of urgency. That's why we all got together and saved her before it was too late. However, these two have no sense of urgency at all. How can I make them understand? Go with them. I sighed and gave up. Tomitake, Takano, goodbye. Thank you for everything. Hey, wait, Rika-chan. I had nothing else to say to them now. Instead, it might be worth talking to someone else. If I could get someone else to protect them, I might be able to change something. I can't give up yet. Fate is as thin as a piece of paper. It's just like the lid on a jar of jam. It's not going to open unless you believe it will. I have to believe that I can change my fate. If I don't, it's not going to change. Tomitake-san and Takano-san? Are you sure about this? I've told Aria about this many times in the past. Aria tends to listen to me more seriously than Tomitake and Takano do. However, that doesn't mean that he can actually do something about it. I'm the Shrine Maiden of Oyashiro-sama. I have a bad feeling about this. Is that not a good enough reason? I understand. It might be a message from Oyashiro-sama. If that really happens tonight, it would be the 5th time in a row. I'll tell the two of them to be cautious too. All Aria would end up doing would be warning the two of them, which was exactly the same thing as what I did. In other words, it wouldn't matter in the least. Aria is just a researcher. He has no ability to deal with unexpected trouble. That's why Takano works for him, after all. Please talk to them. Please. Who else would treat me seriously? Who else would be able to prevent Tomitake and Takano's death? That's right. There's one man who's been fighting the curse of Oyashiro-sama with all his might. Oh, Ishi. Oh, it's Furude-san. I've been looking for you. Akasaka-san wants to say goodbye. I guess he and I are not meant to be. No, you're still upset about last week. Akasaka-san really regrets that he wasn't able to help you. He says he'd love to come back to Hinamizawa again when he next has vacation. Nah, but his wife took it personally. She's pretty, his wife, but she can be scary too. Oishi, I have something important to tell you, but no one else believes me. What's the matter? I've spoken to him several times in the past too. He usually takes me pretty seriously. However, after they die, he starts suspecting me. That's why I stopped talking to him. Where did you hear that? We're at the festival. I told him that I heard someone talking about murdering them in the crowd. That way, he might not be suspicious of me after the murder really happens. Tomitake-san is not from around here, and with Takano-san, that makes 2 people. One is going to die and one is going to disappear. This could be the 5th year's curse of Oyashiro-sama. I can't take this as anything more than a rumor, you understand. But just in case, we'll keep our eye on the 2 of them tonight. I think they were saying that they were going to attack them somewhere between Hinamizawa and Okonomiya. Tomitake's body will be found on the road leading out of the village. From what I remember, he's discovered where the concrete road turns to gravel. I see. I'll have a cruiser patrol around there. We can spare that at least. He agreed to get involved, and he wasn't suspicious of me either. I'm sure it seems odd to people that Oishi actually believed this phony-sounding story of mine. The thing about Oishi is that he strongly believes that there's no smoke where there's no fire. I've learned from experience that he tends to believe my information. However, that personality of his has caused me so much trouble in previous worlds. Of course, there's no question why he's so eager to believe me either. This is his last chance to expose the curse of Oyashiro-sama before his retirement. Even if it might be fake, he still wanted to believe it. That was convenient for me, since I couldn't show proof. Hey, Kuma-chan, you read? Can you hear me? Have a cruiser patrol the road back to Okonomiya. No, it's just a precaution. I heard rumor that something bad might happen around there tonight. Yeah, 2 officers would be fine. Thank you. Thank you. No one else believed me. I didn't know what to do. It's my job to believe these things. We'll just be glad if nothing happens. Be happy to swing and miss. Well, that's what my late colleague used to say. Besides, it's even worse if you ignore what you're told and don't take precautions, you know? I see. That's his way of thinking about things. That was why he believed me without question. I hope he won't consider me a suspect after they find their bodies tomorrow. I shouldn't worry about that now. I can still do more. Who else should I talk to? Should I talk to my friends? I can't give up. I should at least try. No way! You heard someone talking about that? On the day of the festival? That's so wrong. You mean the curse, right? You're talking about the curse of Oyashiro-sama that might happen tonight? Yes. It's happened 4 years in a row. 4 years in a row. Lots of people think that it's going to happen tonight, too. What they believe is their business, but it's not nice for them to talk about Tomitake-san and Takano-san like that. I think you should talk to them about it just in case, I think. I already did, but they didn't believe me. I bet they didn't. But it's too late if something really does happen. I think you should talk to the Oishi-san. I already did. Huh, I'm kind of impressed you've done all that, Rikachama. I agree that they should take every precaution. Especially tonight. The series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa, commonly known as the Curse of Oyashiro-sama. I really don't want them to keep happening every year. Somebody might end up imitating it, and it's bad publicity for the village too. So if nothing happens tonight, it means the curse is over, right? We should definitely make sure that nothing happens then. What can we do? Are you suggesting that we should patrol around the village or something? I think patrolling might be even more careless. Do you really think we can do something about this? For starters, there's a chance some deviant trying to imitate the serial murderers might be within the Watanagashi Preparation Committee, so let's be wary of any unfamiliar faces. It's easy for us to tell strangers apart from the locals. We can spot them right away. I think we'll be fine. But Tomitake and Takano will still be killed. Rika-chan. Alright, let's try to do what we can. I agree. We can't protect them all night. Let's stay with them at least until the festival is over. As long as we're there, the bad guys won't be able to do anything to them. What part of the festival is this? I couldn't tell if they really believed me or not, but they listened to me at least. I guess it's afterwards, but we decided to keep our eyes on Tomitake and Takano and protect them for the rest of the night. I guess I've done everything I can now. Though it's hard to believe this is enough to prevent their deaths. I just have to hope nothing's happened when I wake up tomorrow morning. Do you think you can prevent Tomitake and Takano's deaths, Rika? It might be impossible. Their deaths might be the bell that portends my doom. Oh, but Takano told me earlier that even if they die, the mountain dogs are supposed to keep protecting me. They might bring in more squads from Tokyo too. Even if they die, the situation will be different this time. What if it still doesn't work out? Then I will just have to die. Anyway, I'm not going to give up until the very end. I'll struggle to my very limits. I won't give up and spend the rest of my time drinking wine. Do whatever you want to do, Rika. You still believe that nothing is going to change, Hanyu? I don't believe anything. It's only fate. I keep getting hurt because I have hope, huh? If I'm an actress trying to get up on the stage, Hanyu is a real bystander. We have very different opinions when it comes to this. Rika, no matter what happens, don't give up. It sounds like you're convinced that nothing is going to change. Lately, the things you say have been pissing me off. Oh. I understand. Hanyu keeps telling me not to get my hopes up because she cares about me. Because I hope to defeat fate, I get hurt when that hope is betrayed. And the more I get hurt, the closer I get to losing my mind and disappearing. For Hanyu, that means losing her only friend. Losing me is probably the most unbearable thought for Hanyu, since she has to live alone, unable to communicate with anyone else. I now believe that fate can be changed. Even when I didn't have that faith, I still believe that eventually I'd find a way to get out of this maze. Perhaps Hanyu knows something I don't. I might just be a goldfish inside of a fishbowl. There might be no way for me to escape my fate. We're stuck alone inside of a fishbowl, yet every day I knock on the glass, believing that I can break it someday. Hanyu keeps telling me that I'm wasting my time. If I get hurt and die, she would have to survive all by herself inside the fishbowl. With that, I think I finally understand our difference of opinions. Hanyu has lived for a much longer time than I have. Because of that, she understands the laws of this infinitely spanning world better than I do. No matter how much I refute Hanyu, I can never refute the truth. Even so, I still have to believe in my own faith. I believe in a spear that will pierce the wall of fate. My faith will make that spear sharper than ever. We found Tomitake in the crowd and struck up a conversation with him to keep him around as long as we could. However, as soon as the festival ended, they tried to leave. If they left now, I'd never see them again. Mion tried insisting they stay at her house for the night, but Tomitake refused. Everyone tried various ways to stop them from being alone because the murderer might be around. However, we eventually started to believe that they wanted to be alone for adult reasons. And I wound up suggesting that we shouldn't interrupt the two lovebirds. Don't worry, Rika-chan. Tomitake-san is a man after all. I'm sure he'll do anything to protect Takano-san. Is that so? If something happens, you'll rescue me, right? That's the plan. Well, we really should go now. It's getting pretty late. Thank you for your concern. Don't make any assumptions. I'm heading to the clinic because I left something there. Takano-san has the key, so we have to go together. Oh, I didn't know that you were into playing doctor. Nah, I think he's more into playing gynecologist. Crash, bang, wham. Oh, I wonder how they play doctor. I wonder. Don't hit them just because you feel embarrassed. As for you two, stop only getting along when you're making dirty jokes. Goodbye, everyone. I really am just going back there to get what I forgot. Don't follow us, okay? Hello? Tomitake, please be careful. I do think you're overreacting, Rika. Everyone laughed when Satoko yawned. It seemed like a good time to call it a day. It doesn't feel like I was able to change their fate. I just hope that they pay attention, and that they're prepared for whatever faces them. I still might have a chance. All I can do now is pray. Goodbye, Tomitake-san. Please show us the pictures you took next time. Make sure you wear your punishment shirt. Man, I'm so jealous you get to spend the night with a pretty lady. Woo, woo. See you guys again. I guess it'll be in fall. That's if we don't get killed tonight. Good night, everyone. Good night. That was the best I could do on the night of Wachanagashi. And then... Please tell me what happened this night. This is like a box with a cat inside. Please tell me what happened this night. I don't even know if the cat is alive or dead inside the box. Please tell me what happened this night. The cat in the box is dead. Frederica Berncastel. Tomitake gathered up his paperwork and slipped it inside his bag. Time for a sip. They sure were persistent. I wonder if they really want us dead. How rude of them, huh? It was only a dream. Please make sure that Dr. Irie examines Rika-chan. Her nightmares might be a symptom of something. If anything happens to her, it would be a disaster. Takano touched Tomitake's hand gently. As he turned bright red, Takano moved in closer and spoke. The way she acts is just too sexy, Tomitake thought. Hey, Jiro-san. I have something very important to tell you. Will you listen to me? What is it? You have something to tell me, too? I hope you didn't see me claw out my throat in a dream. What would you say if I did? Eh? Takano stared at him with a mischievous look, as if seducing him, and started whispering into his ear. I'm really surprised. That girl might have a godlike power after all. What does that mean? Takano smiled gently and pulled back her hair. Even seeing her do that made Tomitake's heart race. I really like you. That's good to know. Takano's fingers curled around Tomitake's chin, stroking, tickling, and caressing it. Her movements were very captivating and seductive. I've dated a lot of guys, but none of them interested me as much as you. I've learned that someone with a personality like yours makes the ideal partner for me. You're willing to accept everything I stand for. I believe that you understand me completely. That's why I can give you everything I have. I want you to accept everything about me. Do you understand? Well, Takano-san, what's the matter? Her voice didn't really sound that affectionate. Tomitake knew from experience that he couldn't grasp what was on her mind when she wore a cold smile like that. Finally, it's almost here. It seemed as though she couldn't wait for something to happen. There was a chilling allure to her strange smile that made one question if something exciting was really about to happen. What's almost here? Tomitake asked, trying to resist the temptation. The day my dream comes true. Your dream. Yes, my dream. Didn't I tell you before? Or do you forget about everything we talk about in bed? No. I remember. Your dream. Tomitake's response was vague. Either he didn't remember, or he hadn't understood it very well. Finally, the curse of Oyashiro-sama is going to come true. That's why I've been dreaming about ever since I was a child. Jiro-san, listen. I can't be with you anymore. What? What do you mean? You see, I belong in a different world. Hinamizawa is where humans and demons once coexisted. That's why we met each other here. But all that is going to come to an end soon. The eclipse of the sun brought humans and demons together. Do you understand what I'm saying? Takano-san, did you drink a bit too much at the festival? You're drunk, right? Tonight is a night of farewells. Thank you for teaching me about the sunlit realm. Your warmth was like the glow of the midday sun. We really did have a wonderful relationship. I'm so sad that we have to say goodbye. She pulled herself away from Tomitake and slowly stepped back, as if signaling the time had come for them to part. I don't know what you're trying to say. What's this all about, Takano-san? I want you to make a decision. I want you to decide to stay with me and abandon the sunlit realm. If what you told me was all true, then I know you have no doubts. By that time, Tomitake understood that Takano was asking him to make an important decision. Could it be your... That's right, Jiro-san. Tomitake got up from his seat and looked Takano straight in the eyes. There was a faint glimmer of hostility within those eyes. Is your work more important than me? I thought so. I can't believe this. I trusted you. Those words were ones of rejection. Takano's lips twisted into a cruel smile. Oyashiro-sama united the humans and the demons, but I guess he can't unite you and me. Takano slowly opened the door. 6 men in overalls were standing there at the ready. Tomitake was frozen in shock. The 6 men walked up to Tomitake with no expressions on their faces. It was immediately obvious that they were going to do something to harm him. What is this all about? Hinamizawa syndrome is like a bomb with a lit fuse. Your plan is to dismantle that bomb before it explodes. However, there are some people in Tokyo who want to see it go off. No! What good will that do for anyone? Nobody ever does anything that isn't beneficial to them. Therefore, if they want that bomb to explode, it must be doing good for someone. Your question just now is a pretty meaningless one. I can't believe this. There are people who want that to happen? Hinamizawa syndrome is a very dangerous disease. You know that as well as I do. I do. It would be a disaster if it had an outbreak. Tokyo wouldn't be able to cover it up either. Did that faction bribe you? It was actually my mission from the very start. I'm so sorry. We belonged in different worlds from the moment we first met. What are you going to do to me? It would be a great help if you came over to our side. Of course, that would mean that you'd have to betray your own people. You're expecting me to turn on them? Jiro-san, if your feelings for me are real, will you support me? You'll be compensated, of course. If you wish, I'll dedicate my whole life to you. I'll do whatever you want me to, whenever and wherever you want. My body will belong to you. You can dominate me to satisfy your needs whenever you like. I'm willing to be all yours. Hey, don't you want to dye this body of mine in your scent? Her words were a kind of assault, directly hammering at the emotions men had difficulty resisting. They were like an evil spell to control his heart. Upon hearing them, Tomitake felt an unknown sensation rush up his spine as his feet froze in place, entranced. However, he forced himself to resist the temptation. He sealed the cracks in his wall of reason to stop Takano from forcefully entering his heart. I refuse. She had known from the start that Tomitake was going to refuse her. Even so, Takano let out a triumphant laugh. It's funny. She thought Tomitake would refuse right away. However, it took him a while to refuse because of how effective she was at seducing him. The time it took him to refuse her was one victory for Takano. For Tomitake, it was a time of humiliation. Takano continued to laugh. She sounded rather like an evil witch. I thought you would say that. That's why I love you so much. Takano raised up her right hand and gave a signal to the mountain dogs. Okunogi-kun, you're betraying me too? I'm sorry, Lieutenant Tomitake. Are you surprised? The mountain dogs worked for me. It was us who controlled this clinic all along. You and Dr. Irie are the only people who didn't know. Shit. Tomitake moved into action, sensing the danger that was about to befall him. His fist thrust out as quick as lightning, knocking one man down before he could even blink. However, the other mountain dogs certainly weren't going to just stay there and watch. They all attacked him as one. He tried to strike back with an elbow, but he simply couldn't overcome the difference in numbers. Tomitake tried his best, but soon enough the mountain dogs had wrestled him to the ground. Damn it! Let go! Let me go! Stop struggling already. Ugh. They pinned him down so that he couldn't move an inch. Impressive, Jiro-san. You fought pretty well, considering you were up against 6 people. Takano walked over and smiled while looking down at Tomitake. Hey, Jiro-san. I know you're going to refuse, but let me ask you one more time. Will you change your mind and join my side? Never. I'll never join with you. That's what I wanted to hear. So I could sever all my attachments. Takano was holding a small case in her hands. She opened it and showed Tomitake what was inside. What's in that syringe? Oh, come now. I'm sure you know what it is. No. We destroyed all of them. Jiro-san, let me guess what you're thinking. Even if this is what you think it is, you should still have immunity because you took the vaccine. Isn't that what you're thinking? That's why you're not scared, right? Well, let me tell you something nice. That vaccine you took before you came here was fake. You may not have noticed it, but you're already an L3 patient of the Hinamizawa syndrome. Jiro-san, you have a tendency to look away when you get an injection. That's not very smart. You should always make sure what you're getting. Shit! Let me go! Tomitake struggled to get away, but he simply couldn't move. Upon seeing his sorry state, Takano laughed with glee. I'm sure you know very well about H173. You'll become infected instantly, and will virtually become an L5 patient. You saw how the experiment turned out, no? The subject was displaying extreme irritation in the neck and armpit areas. Based on our past studies, patients with L5 suffer from extraordinary irritation in their lymph nodes. It might be an antigen-antibody reaction. In other words, Jiro-san, if you're lucky, you might be able to die as Rika-chan, just as Rika-chan predicted. Are you going to kill yourself, or become disabled for life? Which would you prefer? Which one, Jiro-san? Stop. Stop! It's going to be too difficult to give him an injection like this. Put him to sleep, please. One of the men covered Tomitake's mouth with a towel soaked in some kind of chemical. He tried to fight it off with all his might, but his strength eventually left him, and he became as quiet as a beached whale. Takano stroked his face to make sure that he couldn't resist. Then she brought the needle toward his throat. She pushed it right into his skin. As she squeezed down on the syringe plunger, the skin surrounding the tip of the needle swelled up, and eventually the contents were absorbed into his body. Goodbye, Jiro-san. When you wake up, you'll be in the middle of a wonderful nightmare. The mountain dogs finally got off of him. He couldn't even twitch. Someone put him in my trunk. Two of the men lifted up Tomitake and carried him outside. Oh, hold on. I'm sure he'd be happy if I left him his bicycle. That way he can enjoy cycling in hell too. The mountain dogs all quietly laughed at the joke. We are now going to commence Operation Doomsday. They stopped laughing as she began to speak. Okanogi, you wait for the contact from headquarters. Keep your eyes on Dr. Irie. Also, keep tabs on Rikifude, too. I don't know what kind of power she has, but she predicted how Tomitake was going to die. I'm very curious about her, but too bad. Roger. I'll take care of things here. Please be careful on your way. There's not much to be careful of. By the way, where's Dr. Irie? I'm sure he's attending the festival's after-party. He's still at the shrine. I wish I could see the look of panic on that nerd's face. The mountain dog started laughing again, too. Takano checked the time on her watch. It was nearly 10 p.m. Most people must have left the festival for home. Those people still there were probably enjoying the after-party while getting drunk inside the shrine. It was a good time for her to leave without being seen by anyone. I'm leaving now. I'm going to go and die. After saying that, she left the clinic alone. She left through the back door. She left amid the moonlight, the singing of insects, and the sound of a river. It was a typical night in Hinamizawa. While enjoying all these sensations, Takano got inside her car. Which, if you remember in Chapter 3, she gave Keiichi a ride. So this was literally happening then. Tomitake was sleeping inside the trunk. His bicycle, on the other hand, was loaded into her back seat. How ironic. Your bicycle has a better seat than you. I'll let you out of there soon. I should leave him by the road that leads to Okonomiya. That'll be a good spot. Takano found a good place to drop him off, but she gave up on it, as there was a police cruiser parked in the area. She figured that they were probably patrolling to make sure the 5th year's curse didn't happen. Good job, officers. No one would ever suspect that there's a curse packed in my trunk right now. Takano drove onto less lit streets with rougher roads. Eventually, the mountain road ended, and she was surrounded by darkness. There were rice fields nearby. She could tell by the sound of the croaking frogs. Takano parked her car by the pitch-black roadside. She had to stop here, otherwise she'd be too close to a residential area. Indeed, she was nearly in Okonomiya. She would have dumped him earlier, but the police cruiser had foiled that plan. Takano pulled Tomitake out of the trunk and left him by the road. She also left him his bicycle. Tomitake let out a small groan. It probably wouldn't be long until he woke up. Goodbye, Jiro-san. Your awkward sweet talk was very entertaining. I wish I could hear it again. You'll be waking up soon. By that time, you'll be in the final stage of L5. After a futile struggle, you'll meet with a miserable demise. I wonder if you really are going to claw out your throat and die. I wish I could be here to see it. Your mysterious death and my disappearance will complete the 5th year's curse of Oyasho-sama. The story of the curse of Oyasho-sama will be firmly established. You should feel honored, Jiro-san. You're going to be part of history. You might be losing your life here, but in a way, you're going to live for eternity. That was her last farewell to Tomitake. Takano got back inside her car and started driving. She could see the place she left Tomitake in her rearview mirror, but it was already shrouded in darkness. Is she going all the way to Gifu? Whoop, sorry. Takano drove through the main street of Okonomi and made a few turns, heading for the dark mountains in the distance. It had been a while since she left Hinamizawa. It was almost midnight. She might have already made it to the neighboring prefecture. It was difficult to tell because she couldn't really see anything in the darkness. Takano stopped her car in the middle of all that. After turning off both the engine and the headlights, there really was nothing but darkness surrounding her. It was as if time itself had stopped. Takano wasn't sure how long she waited, but eventually she saw the headlights of a car blinking twice. Jeez, flashbangs. She blinked her own headlights back at it. Soon she saw several people walking toward her. Two men wearing blue overalls knocked on the window of Takano's car. Obligingly, she opened it. They looked over her face and the paperwork they had in their hands. Hello, I'm Takano. After confirming her identification, they called someone over the radio. Hello, we've got the lady. Anyone following? No one is after you. You're clear for 400 meters. Nobody's following us. Your work is much appreciated. Please come with us to the command vehicle. I'll take your paperwork. The paperwork is inside the trunk. Here's the key. I do need some coffee. Could you get me some? The command vehicle was a trailer with a bunch of high-tech communication equipment inside. The light of the electric equipment shone beautifully in the dark. Here's your coffee, Major. Another man in blue overalls offered her a paper cup. Thank you. What's going on with my corpse? They finished setting it up in Gifu Prefecture. Gifu? Did I burn to death in the mountains of Gifu? I'm not sure about the cause of death. I'll confirm it with someone. Operation Doomsday. That was the name of their mission. The goal of the operation's first stage was Takano's escape from Hinamizawa and the extraction of 18 specific classified documents. That goal had been completed. Assassinating the liaison. I just heard something weird. Just give me a moment. Why did I hear something weird just now? It sounded like a Discord noise. Just make sure everything's fine. It's fine. Okay. That was weird. Alright, continuing. Assassinating the liaison from Tokyo Tomitake was also one of the goals. That one had almost been completed in the way Takano had planned. He was not killed that way just because Takano had wanted to see it. It was intentionally planned that way so that the office in Tokyo would be suspicious of the Area Institute. They were trying to create the story that the Institute was upset with the recent budget cuts and the cancellation of their study. Tomitake's mysterious death would be a suitable way to persuade people. Tomitake was not the only one who expected to die. Takano was expected to do so as well. However, Takano didn't really need to die herself. They had acquired a substitute body for her, so she didn't have to actually die. Takano had no idea how they got the body. According to what she heard, a team in Gifu took care of everything. Once Tomitake and Takano were dead, Tokyo would definitely grow suspicious of the Area Institute. The main purpose of this mission was to make the Institute look reckless. I'm sorry, Major. There's been a problem in Gifu. A problem? What sort of problem? They made a mistake with the corpse. The body has already been dead for 24 hours. I see. And what's that supposed to mean? It means that you were already dead yesterday. Takano's body was supposed to be selected from the corpses of people who had died the same day. The plan was to then burn the body and make the identification of the corpse more difficult. They'd found a suitable body for the plan. However, they just found out that it had been dead for over a day. That would create a hole in their plans. They're going to collect another body to use instead. No, that's fine. We can still use that body as me. Huh? But that would mean the messenger of Oyashiro-sama was long dead, but came to the festival regardless. That's a good one. That's a very, very good one. Takano laughed with satisfaction for a while. Alright, I'm going to feed the cat, use the bathroom, and get another bottle of water, because we're finishing this today. Be back in about 3 minutes. So again, just a moment while I reread the text and whatnot. Pretty sure. Just a second. There. Okay, so we are where we are. The other people in the vehicle couldn't understand why Takano was laughing so much. Takano continued to laugh as if it was the funniest thing she'd ever heard. Go ahead. Call the team in Gifu and tell them to stop looking for another body. I think this will make for an interesting twist. Are you sure? Shouldn't you be more cautious? Don't worry. Everyone saw Neo Takano walking around at the Watanabe Festival. Even if the forensics lab does find out that the body's been dead for more than a day, they'll just think that the test results were wrong. Takano almost seemed to be enjoying the risk. Roger. I'll notify them. By the way, was my body burned inside of an oil drum? Yes. It seems someone already discovered it on the mountain near the freeway. Takano seemed surprised to hear that from him. Then she started laughing strangely again. Nobody could figure out why she was laughing like that. I see. The reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama really is gifted. I have to admit, She has a supernatural power that defies explanation. Tell the mountain dogs in Hinamizawa to tighten up security on R. Roger. Major. The Okonomiya Police Department has discovered the body of Tomitake. They have, huh? The show is about to begin. Are we moving to Rika now? Oh, not yet. Oishi-san, Dr. Area has arrived. Oh, thank you for coming. This happened before. So what do you think, Dr. Area? Oishi entered the area enclosed by a blue tarp. In there, people from forensics were taking pictures of the dead body from various angles. Area was squatting down next to the dead body of Jiro Tomitake. When he stood up, he was white as a sheet. I can't believe it. Yep, I can't believe it either. As far as I see, he clawed out his throat with his bare hands. This isn't a normal way to die. Most likely, some kind of dangerous drug must have caused it. Are you saying that he was a drug addict? I don't know, was he? It's going to be my job to find that out. Oishi-san, what's this 2x4 doing here? I think he was swinging it around. And then he threw it away. And he had more fun clawing out his throat, I guess. Why was he swinging the 2x4 around? He probably did it in self-defense. Did you notice there are several external injuries on his body? Yes, I can see some bruises. The easiest explanation I can think of is this. He was attacked by someone on his way home to Okonomiya after the festival. He was seized by the culprit, given a shot of some kind of dangerous drug, went crazy, and died. I've never heard of any drug that can make people claw out their throats, except you do now. I'm not an expert on it either, but they say self-harm is one of the terminal symptoms for drug addicts, right? Well, I'm sure the old man in forensics will take care of the investigation. Excuse me, Oishi-san. We found a bicycle believed to belong to Jiro Tomitake a mile away from here. Mile? Jeez, Takano. Oh, is that so? Thank you. Did you find anything on it? Not yet. They're investigating it right now. So, that means the place where the bicycle was found is most likely the place he was attacked. And he ran away from the culprit and came here. Oishi frowned, crossing his arms in front of his chest. Area was looking at the miserable corpse of Tomitake, and he kept saying the same thing. It's impossible. It's just impossible. Area knew right away that Tomitake's death was caused by the terminal symptoms of Hinamizawa syndrome. He hadn't swung the 2x4 at a real person, but probably saw some kind of hallucination due to the L5 symptoms. Violent reactions to hallucinations is one of the clearest characteristics of the terminal stage. However, Tomitake supposedly took a vaccine before he came to the village. There was no way he could reach L5 symptoms in such a short period of time. Irie didn't want to believe it, but it was obvious that someone intentionally injected him with the pathogen. The pathogen must have been strong enough to give him L5 symptoms immediately. The only drug that can do that is H173, a chemical weapon that induces an acute onset of symptoms. It makes people hallucinate, which inevitably leads to a horrible death. It's the absolute worst kind of demon. However, they had destroyed all of it due to its dangerous nature. All that was left were helpful chemicals, such as vaccines and treatment drugs. Tomitake was their liaison from Tokyo. I pronounced that right this time. Whoever killed him must have had full knowledge about him and this drug. How would that person know he was their liaison? It was then that Irie thought of Takano. Takano is also a watchdog from Tokyo. She's something like a superintendent. It was quite possible that something bad had happened to her too. What about Takano-san? What happened to Takano-san? What? Oh, are you talking about your nurse? I think she was with him. Is she okay? Do you know her phone number? Of course. Kuma-chan, get her phone number and... Yeah, I already saw this. Tomitake and Takano weren't just in a close relationship. They were co-workers sent from Tokyo. They had access to information that even the Irie didn't. There's no way there was trouble between them. Well, hope she's alright. We don't have any drugs like that at my clinic. Even if we did, we'd store them with extra care. There's no way she could smuggle a drug out from my clinic, he says. But it's easier for nurses. Eri had no means of knowing the state of affairs in Tokyo, and he couldn't reach any further conclusions. So it was easy to laugh at him, as though he's a frog trapped in a well. She isn't home. There they go. Okonomi Police Department is contacting Gifu. Are you sure about this, Major? Sure. I don't mind. Just leave it there. Doomsday has almost arrived anyway. Everything will be destroyed before they even find out that the time of death doesn't match. I love the little Doom organ that's playing. Doom, doom, doom. Moving on. The day after Watanabe, Oishi showed up at her school. It isn't uncommon for him to show up here today. Oh, it's Rika. He always asks to see the most key person in that world. He asked for Keiji in the world where he gets sick. He asked for Rena in the world where she gets sick. In this world, he asked for me. Did Tomitake really die? Yeah. The way he went was pretty strange, too. Like he was on drugs and hallucinating. He clawed out his own throat until he died. I couldn't prevent it. There's nothing I can do now. I knew this was going to happen. I'm sure Takano is dead, too. And Takano? I have bad news about her, too. She was found burned to death in the mountains over in Gifu Prefecture. Based on the condition of the body, she was choked to death before her body was burned. It's a tragic story, no matter how you look at it. I know what you're thinking. You think I know something about what happened to them. Heavens no. I only have one question. Who would talk about such a disturbing plan at the festival where anyone could hear? You think I'm involved in this murder? Well, I wanted to suspect you, but I don't. If you were responsible in some way, you wouldn't have given me the hints you did. At the very least, I'm sure you're not involved with the people who killed them. I'm glad you're not suspicious of me. He threw a 10-yen coin into the offering box and shook the bell in prayer. Please let us solve the mystery of Hinamizawa this year. Are you trying to get me involved in your investigation? No. I was just talking to Oyasho-sama. Oishi is well aware that people call me the reincarnation of Oyasho-sama. That must have been his attempt at a joke. I'd like to see the curse disappear forever, too. Oh, that means we both want the same thing. I made a prediction about where you might find Tomitake's body. Didn't you have a police cruiser nearby? Yeah, I listened to your prediction. I had a cruiser patrol the area. The place where the concrete and gravel roads meet. It's on the very border of the village. It gets very dark there at night. It always seems like if something bad were to happen, it could happen there. So where'd you find Tomitake's body? We found him dead by the rice fields near Okonomiya. That's not where his body is usually found. If he was fated to hallucinate and die, he would die in exactly the same spot, whether the cruiser was there or not. Just because the cruiser was placed there, Tomitake's body was found in a totally different spot. In other words, the existence of the police cruiser disrupted that fate. Anyway, there's something else I found very interesting. I told the officers in the police cruiser to check every vehicle that passed by. As it turns out, one of the cars that headed toward Okonomiya after the festival was Takano's. Takano lives in Okonomiya. It wouldn't be strange for her to head back home after the festival. However, she was the only one inside the car. Tomitake wasn't with her. Tomitake always comes to Hinamizawa on his bike. Then she could have loaded his bike in the trunk and given him a ride. But he was not with her. However, his body was found among the rice fields near Okonomiya, past where the police cruiser was patrolling in Hinamizawa. What are you saying? There's no way he could have biked through the dark woods to avoid the police cruiser. He somehow took the road without being noticed by us. Furude-san, could you tell me what you know about the relationship between Tomitake and Takano? They're dating. That's all I know. I find it hard to believe that Takano would drive back home alone in the dark without her boyfriend. What if she had Tomitake in her trunk, and she was planning to dump his body in the woods? But because the cruiser was in that area, she had no choice but to pass by. and dump him on the side of the road. I think it's clicking log every time I hit enter, I just realized. Both Tomitake and Takano were sent from Tokyo. It is. I have no idea what their real identities are. I can't say that Takano had no reason to kill Tomitake. However, I've never considered that possibility before in my life. Takano killing Tomitake? But why? I can't think of any reason. Nothing comes to mind, and it's hard to imagine Takano was cornered to the point she had to kill him. In fact, it was more plausible to think she was enraged when the lovesick Tomitake acted cold towards her, and she strangled his neck. I never really thought they suited each other. No, I don't mean to insult Tomitake-kun, but I thought Takano-san was way too smart for him. Have you heard of any rumors that she was trying to use him for anything? None, but I can ask around. I'll let you know if I find out something. Thank you very much. I'm just glad that the reincarnation of Oyasho-sama is on my side. But even the reincarnation of Oyasho-sama couldn't solve this mystery for over 100 years. But, you said Takano was killed too. How can she be the culprit? Well, it's because you leaked me the information. I mean, the prophecy. Without that, I'm sure I would have just believed that both Takano and Tomitake were the victims of the 5th year's curse of Oyasho-sama. I feel like it's different this time. Maybe as though this is someone trying to make the curse of Oyasho-sama happen. So you really think that Takano-san is the culprit? Basically, this is what Oishi is trying to say. They're not both victims. The culprit is also pretending to be the victim. This is really hard for me to believe. But you have to put it together. If Takano said the mountain dogs would protect her after she died, and they don't, every single time, then maybe Takano would do that. I can't think of any reason why Takano would do something like this. Oishi only feels the way he does because he doesn't know her as well as I do. For another thing, how can he explain that Takano's body was found? Didn't the police in Gifu Prefecture identify the body? For a charred corpse, the easiest way to identify them is by their dental records. Although, according to the old man in forensics, they're still not 100% sure. And besides, there's a contradiction with the estimated time of death. It just doesn't make sense. What do you mean? Well, the test results show that she was dead on the night before the festival. Apparently, they inspected the contents of her stomach and such. But at the time of testing, they already had information about Takano. They knew that she was at the festival that night, and realized that the test results didn't match up. So they just dumped the results and decided to take the dental records alone. Those things do happen every once in a while. However, if Takano really is the culprit, this body might belong to someone else. Is it possible to do something like that? When a body is burnt, dental records are the only way to identify it. This might sound too much like a mystery novel, but what if, for example, someone faked Mio Takano's dental records? If they were skillfully forged, we could have the wrong ID. Anyway, the Gifu Police Department has made up their mind that the body belongs to Takano. Within police departments, we sometimes have issues with false test results. That's how most false charges are made. It feels to me like this is one of those times. So you think Takano is alive? Since last night, both Mio Takano and her car has gone missing. If that body found in Gifu isn't Takano, this is going to be very interesting indeed. Well, police department? No, Irie had already heard about the deaths of Tomitake and Takano. It seemed like both the clinic and the office in Tokyo had flown into a panic over it. It's funny how they make such a big fuss about their own people when they don't care about what happens to other people's lives, if it would get in the way of their research. Takano's subordinate, Okunogi, was in the room. Okunogi is the leader of the mountain dogs. I came here to make sure he's still willing to protect me. Based on past experience, they tend to lose interest in protecting me after Takano dies. Okunogi, Takano is dead, but am I still safe? Don't worry, Rika-san. We'll still keep up the tight security around you. You don't have to call the police. I guess this is part of that tight security? They must have been listening to my conversation with Oishi. Oishi told me something. Is it true that Takano isn't really dead? That can't be true. The Gifu Police Department made an official announcement. That Oishi is retiring this year, isn't he? Sometimes he's making up stories because he's desperate to solve the curse of Oyasho-sama. You shouldn't pay attention to anything he says. Well, he's not wrong. This year is Oishi's last chance. Because he's so desperate, he's developed a bad habit of listening to every rumor he hears. What's your opinion about this, Okunogi? Right now, they're still investigating, so I can't say anything. Knowing the relationship between those two, I think it's clear that this was done by someone within the organization. I glanced over at Irie as I listened to Okunogi speak. It seemed that whoever he was talking to over the phone was accusing him of killing them. Irie was frantically trying to prove his innocence. Soon enough, he hung up the phone. Irie looked upset that he was under suspicion after working so hard for the organization. Oh, Rika-chan. I'm sorry for making you wait. It seems like you're in big trouble. Just as you heard. It sounds like there's some big conspiracy behind their deaths. People in Tokyo think that I'm the one who's pulling the strings. Good grief. I have a lot of questions as to how they figure that. I rarely ever saw Irie get so emotional. He must be feeling as though all his effort is being repaid with injustice. However, it's a fact that Irie was trying to fight against the budget cuts and downsizing of his research team. Tokyo is thinking that could be his motive for killing them. In any case, everyone in the organization is suspicious. I understand how scared you must feel. The people who attacked Takano-san and Tomitake-san could be after you too. The people in Tokyo are also concerned about that. Right, just give me a few seconds to drink up some more. We got the order to tighten up your security. Don't worry. I'm very relieved to hear that. This was the first time the Mountain Dogs had ever tightened up my security. They usually become so busy keeping tabs on Irie after Tomitake and Takano's deaths that they end up ignoring me. Oh, even though they're dead, I'm still in a pretty favorable situation. So do you have any idea who killed them? People in Tokyo are investigating that now. Based on the situation, it's clear that this was done by someone within the organization. I guess I'm their prime suspect. You're the only one who could kill Tomitake like that. That's not true. The people in Tokyo are discussing the possible use of H173. But that drug was destroyed when the research was cancelled. It's impossible. However, they have no choice but to suspect you in this case. Mr. Tomitake even took a vaccine before he came here. But he still got infected. It must just be an extremely unlikely coincidence. Anyway, it's just impossible. Irie is usually a very calm person. But once the people in Tokyo start suspecting him, he often loses his mind. Do you think Takano might be the culprit? She's someone within the organization. Takano-san? No way. But as he spoke, Irie also started to realize that everything could be explained if Takano was the culprit. But I don't know how to persuade him that it's the truth. Oh, she believes that herself. More than anything, people want to hear a motive. Not who did something, but why. Knowing that probably isn't as important as it sounds. After all, you never know the motive unless the suspect talks. Guessing about the motive is just a waste of time. In other words, it's stupid to assume that Takano isn't the culprit just because I don't know what her motive is. Rika-san, you can't say something like that without any proof. She was very nice to you. How can you suspect her after that? Well, I mean, Irie's been nice to her all this time, and he now has a motive. So I guess, even though they don't have any proof it's him, she can still believe that even though he was very nice to her? Upon hearing me be ungrateful towards his boss, Okunogi flashed me an unpleasant smile. Oh, that was Okunogi. It's true that Takano was very nice to me. It might be disrespectful of me to suspect her. However, I still can't trust her completely yet. Perhaps I've developed the same bad habit as Oishi. Am I believing every crazy theory I hear just because I'm desperate to escape from my fate? In any case, something bad is going around here. We all need to be careful. Don't worry. We've received an order to tighten up your security too. Irie smiled bitterly. For him, their protection wouldn't be too different from stalking. Rika-san, make sure that you don't give up too much information to the police. I think you understand, but you could create a problem if you talk to them about our secrets. He was implying that you'd have to kill anyone I talk to. This isn't the first time they've warned me about this. It's just, what if Takano really is the culprit? If she is, then Okunogi is almost certainly involved too. Then it'd make sense that he wouldn't want me to suspect Takano. But that would be horrifying. If Takano was my enemy, then the mountain dogs were too. This whole clinic is a lion's den. Eri is just a researcher, so he probably wouldn't know what's really going on. The more I thought about it, the more confused I got. Why would Takano do something like this? I thought I just convinced myself that the motive shouldn't even matter, but I can't stop thinking about it. Is Takano really behind it all? Am I going as crazy as Oishi just because of how badly I want to solve this mystery? Perhaps. The mountain dogs are more like wolves looking after a flock of sheep. I've lived for over 100 years. I never once found out who killed me, and I stayed close to the Erie Institute so that they'd protect me. What if that was my big mistake? Well, I'm sure that Erie has no bad intentions. In many lives, I got to see just how genuine his feelings are. I can trust him. However, he's not really reliable. Okunogi glanced over at me. He smiled and told me not to worry, but I noticed an evil glint in his eyes. It's possible that I have Hinamizawa syndrome, and that was just a hallucination. I don't understand anything. I don't even know who my enemies are anymore. There's no point in thinking about this any longer. I have to only trust who I know I can trust for sure. There are only a few of those people, though. Irie, Oishi, and my friends. If Okunogi is on Takano's side, he'll be watching me very closely. If I started accusing Takano of anything, who knows what they'd do to me. When this world first began, I thought I had no time left. But that wasn't true. The number of things that happened in just 2 weeks was immense. I probably only have a few more days left until the day of my death. What can I do? How can I change this? Am I supposed to just take Hanyu's advice and resign this time? Tweet, tweet. Oh, back to school. Oh yeah, because the festival is on Sunday. Yeah, she's been missing since the night of Watanashi. Could it be the curse of Oyasho-sama? It's freaky that this has happened 5 years in a row now. How do we miss that every time? Hinamiza was a small village. Rumors spread fast here. Besides, she's Mion Sonozaki. She would have found out about this yesterday, even if the police were trying to hide it. Oh, so it might be Tuesday. My friends were all talking about the mysterious death of Tomitake and the disappearance of Takano. People in this village are very superstitious. No matter what happens, they conclude that everything is the curse of Oyasho-sama. The past incidents don't matter to me either way. All I'm interested in is the current one. The culprit of this case will probably kill me too. 2 days have passed since Watanashi. Okay, so it's Tuesday. Today... At the earliest, I'll get killed on the night of the 22nd. That is, tomorrow night. The day of my death is always different. I always end up getting killed, but the day when it happens varies. I guess the culprit has their own reasons for that. There's only one thing I'm sure about. Based on my experiences, I'll live for sure until tomorrow night. After then, I'll have to live with the fear of getting murdered at any moment. Still, there's no real reason to be afraid. When I wake up, I'll be in a brand new world again. I can never remember how I'm killed. That's why I'm not that afraid of the killing itself. I'm just frustrated that my life is about repeating the same things over and over like a broken record. However, at present, I'm frustrated. My classmates just expect that their peaceful days will continue forever. But I couldn't feel that way. I feel frustrated and full of sorrow, as I really don't want to die. It's tomorrow night. Are you ready, Rika? How foolish of you to even ask. What makes it look like I am? Hanyu was trying to warn me that I might get killed tomorrow night, as though she already knew it was going to happen for sure. You worked very hard, Rika. This life's Watanashi was the best festival I've ever had. Didn't you feel that way too? It was fun. It really was fun. Satoko had band-aids all over her face, but everyone was there together, and we kicked up a storm. I want this world to continue forever. I can't accept that. This world is going to end tomorrow at the earliest, and within 1 or 2 weeks at the latest. I'm sure your next life will be just as fun. So this world is over and done with? This is such a happy world, but it's just going to end like that? All of my friends are alive and happy. Keiichi doesn't feel alone, and Rena's family is happy too. Mion and Shion are getting along, as well as Shion and Satoko. The issue of Satoko's uncle is resolved, and she's no longer treated coldly by the other villagers. This is the best world I've ever experienced. This world is going to end. Rika, you think of yourself as a normal person too often, when we're both special beings. Every child wants their birthday party to continue forever, but the party always ends. That's why children always wish for their enjoyable moments to continue for all time. But that doesn't mean they'll grieve over a party that's ended. Once they sleep, another day will come for them. Something wonderful will happen again. No one disappears like Cinderella once the party is over. What a way for you to describe my view on life. You're like a child who's crying because she doesn't want to leave the party. But there's no need to feel that sad, is there? There'll be another party again soon. You still hate to go through another death, but it's only like sleeping for a while, isn't it? Hanyu, don't you want to see what lies beyond June of 1983? I would be lying if I said I didn't. But I'm more concerned about you being consumed by that thought and getting hurt because of it. You just don't understand. Without you, I'd have to live for such a long time without anyone to talk to, and I'll only be able to stare at the festival without being part of it. No one will be able to see me. No one will be able to hear me or talk to me either. Do you have any idea how miserable and lonely that will be? But I finally found you, Rika. I can't survive without you anymore. But I can't just die like you can either. I'll have to live alone until the end of time. I'll have to be alone until someone like you shows up again. I don't want that. I can't stand the thought of it. I mean, she's basically just taking Rika's standpoint, except in the very, 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 very long term. As soon as Rika gives up, her party ends, and there won't ever be another party until a new Rika appears. But that's the start of a new party, basically, if you think about it. Hanyu. Rika, please take back that heartbreaking promise you made. I don't want you to give up if this world doesn't work out for you. Hanyu, I'm sorry. I'll have to think about it for a while. I want to do what I can until the end. When that happens, I can decide what to do. If I think there's still some hope, I can go on living. But if I feel desperate enough, I can just give up. It might not ultimately be a bad thing to repeat June of 1983 over and over. Perhaps I might be blessed with another fortunate life someday. Hanyu nodded with a little satisfaction after hearing that, sensing that my feelings were starting to lean the way she wanted them. What's up, Rena? Are you plotting to take Rika-chan home with you? Hey, Keiichi-kun. Don't you think that Rika-chan seems to be feeling down? I don't know. She might still be tired from doing the dedication dance at the festival. Rika-chan was sitting all by herself, wearing a sad expression. I'd said that she might still be tired from the festival, but that wasn't really how it looked. Satoko-chan is free now, so I thought she'd have a spring in her step, but she's been acting weird since yesterday. I wonder if something's going on. Satoko's issues are all settled now. There shouldn't be anything that's troubling her anymore. We thought Satoko and Rika-chan might not be able to live together if they found a new guardian for Satoko, but that problem is almost solved. Either the Sonozaki family or the Kimiyoshi family will become her guardian. Mayor Kimiyoshi is already Rika's guardian. If the Sonozaki family gets custody, Satoko will officially become Shion's little sister. Oh. Anyway, I had no idea why Rika-chan was acting so upset. I think we should ask her what's going on. But I don't want her to think that we're insensitive. But I guess you can ask her, I guess. So you're saying that it's okay for me to be insensitive? Rena laughed and stuck her tongue out at me. I walked up to Riki-chan and struck up a conversation. Perhaps something is still troubling Satoko, and we just don't know about it. If that's the case, we need to help her. You don't look so good. Is anything weird going on? Oh, Keiichi. Riki-chan had been daydreaming, and it took her a while to realize that I was talking to her. Do I look upset or something? Kind of. Is anything the matter? It took her a while to answer. Such a long silence had to mean yes. Keiichi, there's a poem that I want you to listen to. Don't ask me who wrote it. I just want to know what you think. All right, let me hear it then. Riki-chan closed her eyes and recited a short poem. It went something like this. Oh. Everyone has the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to receive. Everyone has the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to fulfill. I have the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to compromise. That's a pretty interesting poem. Did you write it? Oh, I'm not supposed to ask that, huh? No, you're not. What did you think after hearing it? Everyone has the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to receive. I understand that. Everyone does have the right to be happy. That doesn't mean that everyone can receive that happiness. Everyone has the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to fulfill. This one is a little harder to understand, but exercising that right probably refers to the process of finding happiness. Everyone has the right to work hard for their happiness, but it's not that easy for that work to bear fruit. I have the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to compromise. I guess she's trying to talk about compromising your happiness? There's no limit to human desires. You can never stop wanting more. That's why people need to make compromises on their happiness. At least that's how I understand it. If she was trying to say that we should be satisfied with what we have, it sounds like a positive statement. But there's also a negative tone to the way it's presented. I think this poem is reflecting the feelings of the writer. I think so too. So what else did you think? She wouldn't admit it, but I'm sure Riki-chan is the one who made that poem, and it's reflecting on how she's feeling. I'm not that smart, but even I can understand that. I thought it was a sad poem. Sad? I understand the first two lines. Everyone has a right to be happy, but not everyone can become happy that easily. I think those lines are describing the difficult parts of our lives. But the last line is different. Making compromises is the same thing as giving up. The writer of this poem has given up on their happiness, compromised with the reality, and trying to convince themselves they're happy. Trying to convince themselves they're happy, you say? With plenty of regrets, too. Everyone can become happy with enough effort, but she thinks that she can't. The poem reflects her hopelessness. It's very sad. Then, Keiichi, what do you think she should do? She shouldn't give up. She shouldn't give up? The writer of this poem already knows how she can be happy. It's something that she deserves. She's been thinking about how to become happy for a long time. If she really wants to be happy, she shouldn't give up. Remember, we overcame a desperate situation in only a few days. If we all work together, we can make a miracle happen. You saw it with your own eyes, didn't you? What's troubling you? Talk to me. There's something I want to talk to all of you about. But if I do that, you won't be able to live in this village anymore. Happiness for me would be to see what's beyond June of 1983, together with all of you. It wouldn't mean anything if I lived beyond this June without you. We won't be able to live in Hinamizawa anymore? Why is that? They'll kill you if they find out that I talked to you. That's why I can't say anything. What do you mean, they'll kill us? Are you being threatened by someone? The word kill is not something that most people use casually. I was shocked to hear it coming from her mouth. That's why I couldn't help but raise my voice. I don't know who's the enemy and who's not. The only thing I know for sure is that someone is going to kill me. Wait, Riki-chan. Talk to me. What the hell is going on? Is Teppei threatening her? No, that isn't possible. The police arrested him. And besides that, the Sonozaki family told him to never come back to the village. There's no way he could contact Riki-chan in order to threaten her. And even if that somehow was the case, Rika-chan could just talk to Mion and everything would be taken care of. But based on her expression, it seems like this is way deeper than that. I'm sorry. If I talk, you'll be dragged into this. If I lose you, I have no more reason to survive. I just can't talk to you about this. I'm not going to compromise my happiness. I don't understand what you're trying to say, but you sound just like Satoko did a few days ago. Like Satoko? Yeah. You're thinking it's better to be patient. You forgot the courage needed to fight. You sound like that. Weren't you the one who told Satoko to be brave over the phone? My words clearly hurt Rika-chan's feelings. She bit her lip and went quiet for a moment. If I talk to you, you might get killed too. Well, I don't want that. But if we don't do anything, you're going to get killed, right? We don't want a future without you either, Rika-chan. What? You may not want to get us involved, but likewise, we don't want to lose you either. We welcome the struggle. Besides, you know how powerful we can be together. I'm sure we can solve anything if we all work as one. Not even our combined strength can solve this problem. You don't want to talk to us because you don't want to drag us into it, right? So what you're saying is that you want to die without telling us anything. I guess that's what I'm saying. Don't think that being patient is the same as being brave. Remember the courage to fight. You can talk to me anytime, once you organize your feelings. We'll help you. You can count on us. Thank you. Rika-chan was wearing a sorrowful smile. I could tell that she appreciated my sympathy. I don't know why, but Rika-chan is troubled by something. It's a matter of life and death for her. She can't even talk to us about it. At the very least, she won't talk to me. How was it, Keiichi-kun? Is Rika-chan troubled by something? That doesn't happen very often. Satoko, this is going to sound strange, but is there any chance that someone is threatening Rika-chan's life? What? What in the world are you saying, Keiichi-san? Rika-chan is the village mascot. People worship her. No one would ever try to kill her. What's this? What are you guys talking about? The more I talked to my friends, the stranger it seemed that someone would try to kill Rika-chan. Everyone was even more confused than I felt. Rika-chan didn't talk to me about what's troubling her, but I'm sure there's something very serious going on with her. If she really trusts us, I'm sure she'll talk to us soon. Let's believe everything she tells us if she opens her heart. Okay? We all looked at each other and nodded. Scene end? No. Oh yeah. Oh, another one? Jeez. Maybe I'm not done the game. Oh, not finishing it tonight, I mean. Let's read the notebook. The Son of God promised that he would be resurrected within 3 days. Sinful men guarded his grave to make sure he would not wake up, but that was foolish of them. He meant that his spirit and his lessons would be resurrected, not his physical shell. Do not be afraid of physical death. If you achieve great things, you will live again. You will surpass death and become immortal. A demon took the Son of God to a cliff and told him to jump off. He claimed that if he was really a son of God, a miracle would help him survive. He tried to challenge the Lord. The Lord challenges humans, but humans may not challenge the Lord. To challenge is to suspect. Suspicion will speak words of evil into your ears, and it will make you falter. Do not doubt your own achievements. Do not doubt your own life. Do not doubt your contributions. Do not let others criticize your achievements. That is the same as doubting your own life. Hifumi T. Takuma. Right, because Miu's name is Miu. Alright, there's another chapter, and I'm not going to be able to finish that in time, I feel. I guess I misunderstood how long I still had. Yeah, Sakuto in the calendar. Let me do a quick check, because I don't know if I'm crazy. I'm just going to check my achievements. What button do I press? Playtime, 15 hours. Your achievements. That's what I want to look at. How about you open the game more? Click this, maybe? No, that's not it. Why am I suddenly not able to see my achievements? That just lets me change that. Notes, timer, guides, discussion, screenshots, web browser. I don't know, let's try web browser real quick. No, that's not what I want. Controller settings. No, that's not what I want. I just want to see the achievements. Why is that not showing all of a sudden? Oh well. I don't know why I just closed that. Is that information? Game overview? Yeah, it is. Notes, timer, guides, discussion, screenshots, web browser, controller settings, minimize windows. I think Steam might have changed a bit because I suddenly can't see the actual achievements area. Wait, there's a notes area? I can actually write notes here. That's actually interesting. Timer, that doesn't really matter. Guides, I don't want that. Discussion, screenshots, web browser, controller settings. Alright, we're done here, I think. Wait, yeah, we're done here. I'm just going to pull up my Steam thing and look at it from there, rather than... Oh, that might be why. It's because I have two games up. That might be the reason. Anyway, what I want to see is post-game summary. What the heck is that? Whatever. View my achievements. All that's left is have a chat, read the staff, read all notes. So that means there's not even an achievement for this chapter. Basically. Let me just check the calendar. The first one to wake up is supposed to tear yesterday's date off. Sometimes we both tear the calendar by mistake, so the date ends up 2 days ahead. Sato likes to tear the calendar. That makes her wake up early every morning. That would usually make me smile, but I felt devastated as soon as I saw the 22nd. It's going to happen to me. Alright, yeah, we're done here. The day I'm going to die. Stop it. Yep. And save again right here. Now we are done. Next stream will be Tuesday. I'm going to start Visage. It's a horror game as usual for this month. How long is... Oh, the 31st is on Tuesday. Alright. Have a good rest of your day, evening, morning, all of that. Oh, Visage will be Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. EST. Forgot to mention that. Bye-bye!